totally forgot that we were streaming to the Rabbit Hole and Retired Rider.
I see 3 of them up there, so I was thinking we're
like,
probably in both of them.
Yeah, so we got
Retired Rider. Retired Rider. Gather round, folks, and listen to my story about John the Retired Rider. 30 years on the back of a hog. The rest of those years was sitting on a hollow log. Don't get the wrong idea about me. I will explain it the best I can. He's a damn good looking man. He's a hot-blooded American bike rider up in Ohio land. Gone as fast as he can.
All right, that'll be enough of that.
So which one? So we're going to be the Rabbit Rider tonight, I guess.
Yeah, we're on Retired Rider.
Brown Chicken says, which one's the mainstream? Yeah. What's up, Jay?
I think it's going to the Rabbit Hole, the mainstream. And we're doing Retired Rider. We're doing the Rabbit Hole and Facebook. Which Facebook, you know how that goes.
Yeah, it's Facebook. Nobody.
Yeah.
Women and 7-year-old kids. So we don't really. I mean, that's what I think Facebook's for. Beginner kids and old people that like to do their little town groups, you know, because most people do that. Like you can get on your local little Facebook town and gossip and shit like that. Oh, sorry. Hey, Gloria. Hello.
Hey, howdy, Mythical Rider.
Ghost of Democrats Pass is what they're calling Biden. They said they just wished he'd disappear.
Brown Chicken, what's up? 2-4, what's up? Jay, what's up?
Jay, welcome back, buddy.
Good to see you. Gloria, good to see you.
We're missing Gloria tonight. We don't know where he's at, so.
Yeah, he might pop in here shortly.
He might be busy, though.
Brown Chicken says, Facebook is the senior center gossip.
I'm telling you, gossip. It is. That's why I don't really get on it. Like if you see something of mine pop up or something, it's because I have the Instagram connected, so I keep
got it all. Hey, Brad,
yeah. So I can keep the
yeah.
Well, that way I can keep the Facebook active. You know, I got certain pictures in my files and stuff.
Well, you put up stuff on the share. You put up stuff on the share spot up there.
Yeah,
I do that.
Yeah, I've got that.
But I don't get on there and bull crap and tell my life story and all that stuff. I don't do none of that stuff.
He said, I've watched a lot of your videos, started with DB Cooper. You guys rock. Great. Thanks. Was that the night I had to disappear?
That might have been.
I can't remember what night it was. I had to step out for the rest of the show. But yeah, man, we try. We're not experts. We'll tell you that. We just like to
we're not experts.
You know, we just like to have fun with it and speak our opinion and you know, we're not here to influence anybody.
Yeah, he's not an expert. I am, but he's not.
Yeah, I don't know anything about anything. I don't know.
2-4 says I've never been on Facebook. Wow, man. Good
really,
for you.
Man.
Good for you.
You're lucky.
Good for you.
They sent me a thing the other day where my Instagram's growing so fast saying that I could start making money on Facebook. I could start making money on Facebook and stuff because I'm over 2,000 followers now. Within the last day, the last reel I dropped, I'm up over 100,000 views on it. So almost to 10,000 views on another one, but I'm over 100,000 something on the last one I dropped yesterday or day before.
Yeah. So hey, Jay says to you, hey Ray, what about the Joe Biden double? One was taller. Even Joe Rogan mentioned it on his show. Biden
that was a messed up picture. I don't know what that guy had, some long ass legs. That was,
hey, sick.
I mean,
good to see you, man.
A lot of conspiracy about, you know, Jim Carrey being that person, and which if you look up, you can really find some rubber masks. This company makes them, and they sell for about $600 and up. and they're literally big, and they even got the half of the chest that you put on, and it completely looks identical to, to the person you want.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, guys and gals, Greg McBee. Good. Hey, back at you.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I just it's hard.
So wait a minute, I got something to say.
Into politics.
Did we talk about this the other night? I don't remember, but they got the new pope now, and he's an American. The new pope. I thought there wasn't going to be another pope. I thought that was the end of the pope. But we have a new pope.
Exactly, and the first time ever an American.
And he's from Chicago.
Yeah, he was handpicked by Pope Francis. He lines with his values. So they said he did most of his stuff in Peru. I don't really pay attention to much of it.
I don't know where
just here and there, the news of stuff, what happens. But, he's not my Messiah, so I don't really look at it like, and no offense to Catholics, it's just not my thing. I wasn't raised Catholic. I'm not Catholic. Don't know anything about their church and their stuff. So,
yeah,
I don't follow their teachings or none of that stuff. So
Mission Impossible was 19.
How should I come back to someone who's talking crap on Trump? Who's talking crap on Trump? Ain't nobody spoke anything on Trump.
No, I think they're saying, how do you come back at somebody who does talk crap? Just don't say shit at all.
Just ignore them, smile and wave, and they melt down on their own. So, I mean, that's basically the woke liberals. You just have to say Trump's their king or something, and they'll melt down.
They like to mix it up. One Polish, one Argentine. It's not
Argentina, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Polish, by the way. So,
well, like I said, though, it's now there's a difference. There's
first generation
Polak, and there's a dumb Polak.
Hey, watch it now.
I got a dumb Polak in my family. My great aunt's daughter, which is
I'm first generation,
my distant cousin. She married a Polak. Well, that's what we always called him. I guess he's Polish or whatever. Like literally, like from Poland. Like he was not in the United States. She was on a trip and met him in Poland. And this has been years and years back. And now he lives in the United States, or they have for 40 years, and they got grown kids and grandkids. But yeah.
I seen a bumper sticker on a car today that said, "You can't be a Christian if you're pro-choice." Huh.
Well,
really?
I don't know. I kind of have difficulties with Christians sometimes because I don't follow Christians. I don't follow their rules. I follow, God and Jesus.
Polish.
I don't. Most people that want to,
Hang on just a second. Hold that thought. He said, Jay says, John, you look more Croatian or whatever.
Sabine.
But anyway, I'm the best of both worlds. My dad came here when he was 18 from Poland. So I'm Polish, and he married a hillbilly, like the guy down below me. So I got the best of both worlds. I come from
hillbilly. I don't come from hillbillies.
I got redneck and I got Polish, man. What more do you want?
Your dad came here. So what are you, like second generation?
First generation.
First generation or whatever?
Yeah.
See, I'm like many generations. We had two Ray brothers. We had two Ray brothers came from England. So I'm English, I guess, or European, whatever you want to call it. Two Ray brothers came over, hit the shores of Virginia. One came to Tennessee, which was my great-great-great-grandfather, I guess. And the other one, we don't know where he went. We don't know if he stayed in Virginia, West Virginia, went north to work. We don't know. I've never could track that. So I tried to track down as much as I could. But then the one that came to Tennessee, my great-great-grandfather, whatever, married an Indian lady. And then they had kids. And then my grandfather married a Cherokee Indian lady, and out of East Tennessee, the Cherokee, because there wasn't many, but there were some that branched over into East Tennessee of the Cherokee Nation.
Gotcha.
And so my grandmother was half American, half Indian. Her mother was full-blooded Cherokee. Her grandmother, we have pictures of her in like front of teepees, her teepees and all that tribe and stuff. So, and then I got, and I got an uncle and I have an aunt that passed away from breast cancer years ago. And my uncle, their red skin, slick black hair. I mean, they don't even look like they look like an Indian in a movie. You know what I mean? Like truly.
Yeah.
But they don't. And it's my dad's brother, my uncle, and my dad doesn't look like it. Like him, and the sister was the only ones that got the red skin. They're the only ones that got the red skin and the slick jet black hair. So I've got a lot of, Native American Cherokee in me, and then, like I said, the European. So
Ray is Toto.
So that, I mean, I've never done one of those tests, but I've seen my family enough. Now my mother's side comes out of the backwoods. Now I will admit, as far as I can go back on my mother's side, on my great grandma, they come out of Kentucky, somewhere in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's where my mom came from. Kentucky.
Backwoods, Kentucky. Now my great grandfather, her husband, came out of here though. So
Kentucky,
they're hillbilly country folk.
It's all the same. The Appalachians,
but yeah.
Man, all the same.
I think our bloodline's so mixed. I don't think we really know what we got in us, truthfully. Like, because we come from 2-4 different branches. You know what I mean? Like, we come from our mom's side, which is male and female. We come from our dad's side, which is male and female. Who knows what's actually in their DNA and bloodline that's been passed to them? I mean, there's nothing. I ain't seen any kind of full. You know what I mean?
Well, none of us are. We come.
That's what I mean. There's something.
That's
what I'm saying. There's something always, that's mixing. We're mixing our DNA. So I think we could all do a chart and we'd have so much percentage of everything. You know what I mean? So, no, I ain't related to Joe Biden. He's a Northern Yankee. He's a Canuck.
It's Uncle Mike. Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't like the
dude. That short I posted of the View the other day, 2.6 million views.
Is it?
Yeah. It's stupid. Yeah. And then the one I posted about Trump on Instagram.
That's something. There's something corrupted.
The one I posted on Instagram about Trump and Joe Biden, it's like a AI, it's at 110,000 views.
I don't get on. What'd you say? Instagram? I don't get on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
I don't do much on there. Biden's Irish like you. You're Irish. Are you Irish?
Me? I don't think so. I'm not Irish. I'm
born in November.
I come from European descent.
Europe?
Is that Irish? No. I come from either Europe or
Hey Lolly, what's happening?
Howdy.
England or London or Europe, wherever, I don't know, somewhere over. I don't know exactly what part of Europe, because I know Europe's, big. So, hello, Lolly. Moto Bomb, hello.
I got.
Well, like I said, if we really did a test, who knows what we'd all have in us? You know what I mean? Like, truthfully, there ain't no telling what kind of, bloodline DNA we got in us, but.
Yeah. I mean, is it important? I guess it really is.
No, I don't really care.
We're all Americans, right?
Yeah. I was born,
Good to see you, Moto.
I don't care if I would have been born in another country. I'm still a human, Still
Jay
me.
says, John, what's next topic? Loch Ness Monster?
Nope.
Well, Sunday we got.
I think that's been cracked.
Sunday we got. What do we got Sunday?
Humans, superhumans.
Superhumans Sunday. And I didn't tell anybody, but I kept my own on Wednesday. I didn't even talk to the co-host. Sorry, guys. I let you out on this one.
Oh, I don't. Whatever you decide, man. It's your show.
We're
It's your
doing
channel.
chemtrails. What are they dumping on our asses on next Wednesdays?
Yeah, because there's. Well, I know there's a difference. You can see it in the sky.
Born in the USA. I was born.
But yeah, I mean, it's.
Well, we've seen chemical trails in the sky and they're middle of the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was it during the day or at night?
What's up,
What's
Ivory?
good, guys? What's happening,
Bro.
Ivory?
When you seen the chemical trail, was it? You seen it during a weird time? You normally don't see it at night.
Wow,
You seen
that's
it at the
strange to
middle of
see
the
it at
night.
night. Yeah, that's strange. That's weird.
How would you see it at night?
That's what we're
aliens
saying.
polarized.
We didn't know. That's the first time he'd ever seen it at night. But there was a white chemical trail going across the sky.
Did you see that black ring that I sent you?
Yeah,
That guy
man,
recorded in the damn Kansas out there.
Dear, could you pull that up? Can you share
And if
that?
you look at it close enough, you got it. I sent it to you on Facebook Messenger, didn't I?
Oh, I don't know where you sent it to me.
And anyways, if you look at it, and you can see as it's dissipating, you can see something looks like it's moving through the ring, man. And this guy's on the news, you know what I mean? He's filming like there's no filters, guys. Look at this, da da da. You know, let me look and see.
Yeah, but I think it was
See it.
birds.
Do
I
what?
think it was birds circling.
Hi, Moto.
Bird circling
Yeah.
a black smoke ring like that? No, I don't think it was on Facebook. I think it was on Instagram.
I don't know where you sent it to me, too, but it was crazy.
Yeah, it's on Instagram. I don't have
Excuse me.
Instagram on my computer.
These guys microdosed meth. Okay. Oh Lord. Share trails. Hit the bathroom emptied, right? Don't do that. Some of you guys are something else.
Hey, brown chicken.
Brown chicken. So what's happening, Lolly? What's new? What's going on? What's shaking? What's
I like the white meat.
what?
You said brown chicken. I said I like the white meat.
Man, that's not right.
Not a lot going on.
Not a lot.
Trying to
going
get
on.
through some stuff, and I tried to find a tire for the tiller so we could till the garden, so I can get my
Yeah.
tomato plants in. And
Yeah.
yeah, nobody has it. You have to order it online and then take it in and get it changed.
Oh God!
You know what I got used to doing?
You couldn't order the whole rim and tire, the whole one piece. Yeah, that sucks.
I got used to putting tubes in all my stuff.
Well,
don't like
I took it to. I called around and then I couldn't get a hold of anybody. Nobody would answer the phones. So I went to Ace Hardware and I went to Tractor Supply. I called Walmart, and that's about the only places we have out here to go to. And nobody had anything.
Damn.
So Ace told me to buy it offline because he'd have to order it too. But I could get
Right.
it cheaper.
About to order it yourself.
So I ordered it myself. It'll be here Monday.
Use foam, Eric the Great. Use foam.
Well, yeah, they got
Yeah.
that foam stuff you can spray in it, and it like completely
Yeah.
fills it. Not just the
Not
sealer,
these. They were dry rotted.
But, oh, okay. That's why I like using tubes, because even if they dry rot, you still got tubes in them, and they'll still stay.
Yeah, but then
aired
the
up.
tube can get pinched. So the truth shall set you free. I got
Well,
it.
if it
I
was
put tubes
mine-
in my motorcycle tires.
If it was mine, I may have bought tubes, but it's my son's. And he brought it over, and I told him if he let us use it, I'd replace the tire. So
It
that's
does.
what we're
keep-
doing.
Yeah, you can buy a
Spray
can of
foam.
spray foam. Yeah, you can buy a can
Really?
and shake
mean
it
like
up
that-
real good, and you can like fill your cracks up, but you can't do it too much, or it'll bust your woods out of like you know if you feel cracks up in your doors or windows, you can't do it much at all.
I've
'cause
used it
it'll
for
bust.
stuff like that, but not.
Yeah,
for a
that's what I'm
tire.
saying. It comes with, and a tube comes with it, and you take it and you can fill it full, and it'll be hard as the foam is like a rock, man, and fill it up and it expands.
Huh.
But
So,
what does that do to it when you want to get it replaced?
well, you have
And
to
take it off
replace.
the rim. Wouldn't that
Well,
cause issues?
You'll never have to once you fix it like that if you do it right. Your tires should do forever. I mean,
My luck, it would that foam would expand in just one spot, and you'd have an oblong or some crazy looking tire that doesn't turn.
That's what had happened to us, I'm sure.
That would be my luck.
But like I said, I put tubes in like even the
Cut it
motorcycle
off.
tires, which on my sporty I got, spoke
They
wheels.
still
so,
put well. If you have spoke wheels, you have to have two. Yeah,
so
it's not a highway tire. No, it's not a highway tire. Let's see, Ray. Do you like American Picker Show? Remember the old TV show American Chopper with that father and son team? It was on the TV in the 90s. They did some great work.
talking about
Who we
Paul
talking
Singer and Paul Jr.
Oh, the Tuttles?
Yeah,
The Tuttles?
the Tuttles. They argued too much for me.
Yeah, well, that was. Do you think that was
To
real,
me,
or
I
do you think
didn't
that
see
was
their
fake?
bikes as choppers. Now they did bring kind of more light back to the community in the 2000s with the show, but also their bikes was more like customs and stuff, custom built, custom bikes.
They really weren't meant to ride. They
No,
were showpieces.
not those bikes. Those was meant to just show showroom floors. But now the American Pickers, I used to watch it, not like dead, continuously. But I have watched quite a bit of
I
stuff.
did. I watched American Pickers all the time, man.
I mean, I would watch them,
What
but I
happened?
didn't watch it like
Something happened to the
Dick.
lady that was on American Pickers. Do you
Well, Frank
remember what
died.
happened?
Yeah, Frank died, but he was off the show for a while before he
Mhm.
died.
No, the woman that was
He was
on
fighting cancer.
that had
Yeah,
all the tattoos and
Yeah, she was a burlesque dancer, and I think her career just kept going, and she just ended. She just wanted to get out of that, I believe.
I was thinking
Now I
there
could be
was
wrong, but
major
Well, they ended the
somebody
show.
can correct me if they know the
They
truth.
ended the show, though. I think it's no longer on the air anymore.
Oh well, I didn't know. I don't. Like I said, I didn't keep up with it like that. Like
Sons of
continuously.
Anarchy was a good show. I like the
Never watched it.
What?
days on.
I tried to watch like the first 2 episodes, and I thought it was just dumb, so I never. Yeah. Now there
No,
was
days
one
on.
show I did
was
watch.
saying that today.
The
Hey,
crocodile
Dave, good to see you, man.
stuff, the Louisiana, the guys hunting the crocodiles and shit, the alligator hunt or
was
whatever.
cool, yeah.
And then what's
Yeah.
his name? One dude was so funny. What, Shelby or whatever, that guy that was just walked around barefooted all the time down there and would go cut those trees and hunt and do all kinds of shit. Shelby, I think his name was, or Shelly or Shelby or something.
Do you think he died from inhaling many?
Could have been, man.
Very
He
toxic
could have
person.
been.
They were
Yeah.
they were
Who
in that
knows?
shit bad.
They dug into that stuff.
Well, I met
man.
Mike Wolf, dude.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I seen him in a parade.
Thanks, Dave.
He lives in Columbia, Tennessee. He's got a bicycle in his shop down there where he redid that car lot, that old car lot building. He's got motorcycles in it, cars and bicycles, and yeah, he's down there at the Mule Day parade. He's the ambassador of it every year. So
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So-
Moto,
Now
I
the-
like the Storage Wars. I thought those were cool.
But then they found out those were fake, Lolly. Remember that?
Yeah, a
Remember
lot
that?
of them were
Yeah.
fake, but
the
it was
Storage
still cool
Wars,
to watch.
yeah, I heard they put stuff in them.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that's fake. I've known too many people that's tried to do that and started, trying to buy out storage
It's
places,
entertainment.
and it's ridiculous. But some of the shows were still kind of fun.
Yeah. I was trying to think of. Now I did watch the
Oh.
American Chopper build offs. I didn't just watch the Tuttles. I didn't watch that like every week dedicated. I would watch more of the build offs like Billy Lane against Indian Larry, before
yeah.
Indian Larry died and all
Yeah.
that, and I'd watch
Yeah.
the build offs. Jesse James, West Coast Choppers, I'd watch that.
I was never a fan of Jesse James. Never a
Well, he's
fan.
got an attitude, but I liked his Diablo bikes. I liked the series where he built Kid Rock one, and him and Kid Rock rode through Mexico and all that. So, and then like the deadlines he would do, and most of they'd build to ride to Sturgis and have to be at Sturgis in so many days, and
Yeah.
I was in my early
Ah,
20s, so
Yeah.
Exactly, Dave.
Biker build offs.
There's some crazy people doing stuff.
Indian Larry was always my favorite because I feel like his was the actual real chopper, the skinny. That's my style. Indian Larry's work. So
Choppers suck. Choppers are horrible bikes. You can't ride
they
them.
are. They're rough riding and
They're
everything, but
horrible.
man, they're fun. It's just something about them that it takes me back to like the old days.
Takes you back to your old days on your bicycle, your pedal bike.
Yeah, and seeing my
your banana
parents
seat,
like coming in the yard on the
big
bike
sissy
and
bar on
going,
the
you
back,
know,
and your big orange flag sticking up in the air.
and seeing my dad and my mom, you know, and them pulling in the yard on their bike and all that stuff. So
Making fun of you, but okay.
I know that. And that's okay. I don't get my feelings hurt.
Shit.
I'm melting down. I'm melting.
Oh God, you hurt my feelings. Hey, you know, feelings can't get hurt. What's Frog doing, Wally?
He's taking a break. He was working on our bathroom today,
Oh,
trying to get it redone.
Oh, that's a job, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
My
We had
kid-
to.
It don't matter how little or big,
had
it's
to
still.
pull the ceiling, part of the ceiling down,
Yeah.
and we're working on remodeling it. I got a new vanity sink for it and all that. So he's been working on it, and then he had to take the tires off the tiller so I could deal with that. And
You got him
been a
busy, don't you?
today.
Exactly, Jay.
He got a
it's-
to-do list.
The honey to-do list. He's working on it.
Yep.
Yeah, Moto.
Mr.
It is. It's,
I'm not down anybody that likes them. I mean, if you like choppers, that's cool. But that's just nothing I was ever interested in. But just,
yeah, we know what you're
What-
interested in.
yeah. I mean, what is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
I think it's
Shiny toys.
I think it's like a kind of like a challenge to make some unrealistic mods and see if you can ride it.
Hey,
Now pass.
even if you freaking do it perfect, it seems like they always break down at some point. Like something goes wrong. You know, even though it's 4 wires, it's all you got for your lights. You know, you're running all that. But I mean, it's chopper shit, man. You know what I mean? You'll be sitting on the side of the road. You know.
Pope or Trump? Any thoughts? Is what Noah says. Moto says, "Let's glide. Let's glide into it."
Well, first of all, I don't pick like that because I have no use for a pope because it ain't my religion.
Dave, it
You know what I
depends
mean?
on what kinds you're getting, because some of them are $10 a pack, some of them are $5 a pack. So it depends on the brand.
I buy Marlboro.
Ooh, it's went up that much. My lordy.
I paid $29 for 4 packs.
So if you smoke a pack a day like I used to smoke, one time I
smoked 2 packs a day.
Well, one time I smoked 3 packs, but that's when cigarettes cost under $1 a pack. So if I were to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes now a day, my God, that would be what, $1,000 a month?
Oh, I pay.
Jesus, think of all the money. That's crazy.
It's about $54 a carton.
Holy moly! And how many comes in a carton?
Mine? No, carton? No,
10.
mine's about $90 a carton.
What? Holy
Yeah,
moly.
yours are expensive. I can't believe you're smoking Marlboros.
Oh, I ain't never smoked. I've only smoked Camel when I started for about 10 years, and then they went up to $5 a pack back when I was young. Marlboro was still cheap, and I had to quit smoking those because they just kept going up in price. So I went to I've smoked nothing but Marlboros for probably 20 years, I guess.
I've rolled my own.
Yeah, I did in prison. I rode my own when I was in prison.
Generic, that's Edgefield, which is the closest to Marlboro that I found, because I started on Camel and Winston, went to Marlboro, and then smoked Marlboro and the Marlboro Special or
Yeah,
Black.
the first cigarette I ever smoked.
And then I found these, and like I said, they're close to Marlboro as I've found, but they're only 52 and some change for a carton.
I was gonna say, first one I ever smoked, I stole it from my granny, and it was a Pall Mall non-filter.
Oh, we all smoked those. I
Yeah.
smoked Camel non-filters.
Yeah, I did too.
2.4 says cigs are $23 a pack.
Yeah, I don't doubt it up there.
Oh, I wouldn't either. I mean, he's in Canuck, ain't he?
Got there. Oh,
Canada.
got stuck in.
Or
Yeah.
you're in Canada, right? Too far. I wouldn't doubt if the air you had to buy it in a jug to breathe. the
Congratulations.
the
Dick.
way
That's
that place is going. If Trump were the Pope, God would come back to feed all the Indian villages. I
What?
don't know. I
Uh,
Trump ain't Pope.
Trump ain't no pope.
He ain't even in that realm
$120 a
of.
week to smoke. $120 a week to
Yeah, it's
smoke.
not all this. It's not. Smoking isn't what's causing the cancer. I hate to break it to people, but
No,
it's
it's
the
messing
chemicals
with.
and the preservatives and the stuff that they're putting on the plants. It's the herbicides, the pesticides, the
Well, not
processing.
only that.
Right, right. But
It's
Lolly,
all kinds of stuff.
let
My
me interrupt you
grandfather
just.
lived on a mountain in Somerset, Kentucky.
Oh, I know
Okay,
what Somerset is. Been there many times.
he had a
Yeah, me too.
mountain. He planted. He ate off the land. He hunted
Yeah,
and he ate from his garden.
yeah.
And he died in his 90s because he fell and broke his hip after he had Alzheimer's,
Oh,
not
goodness.
cancer. My aunt quit smoking, and 10 years later, she got cancer. It's not just the cigarettes.
Well, it is the cigarettes in the sense that's what they put on the tobacco. But
The
yeah,
chemicals.
what I get what you're saying though. If you were smoking pure tobacco, or not that hasn't been, criminalized.
A lot of people
whatever.
smoke pure
Anything
tobacco.
anything that
Yeah,
you eat or do
that's what's
anything
killing
with,
your food.
it's cancerous. I mean, because
Your
that's the
food.
stuff they're putting on everything.
Yeah,
That's in the air. It's in the water. It's in the soil. They have done so much damage to all of our soil that
yeah.
there's no getting around it.
I
There's
listened to.
places that they've dumped leather waste and
Yeah.
slaughterhouse waste into the water supplies that
uh,
gets into the land, and then you can't fix it.
Well, I watched a guy explain some stuff about women and mammograms and cancers that, was trying to tell women don't get a mammogram done because once they do, and once the doctor, like what actually causes the cancer is the doctor's doing biopsies on these things, and soon as
Congratulations, Jake.
soon as they cut it or any of that stuff, like it actually starts spreading the little stuff and whatever
If
he
you
was
have
calling it.
cancer and get anything open, you're going to spread.
Yep.
One
And
oxygen
my
hit
mom went
cancer,
70 years with nothing,
done.
never smoked a day in her life, never did anything like that. No
That's
drugs.
crazy.
Very Christian lady. She's 71. She turned 70, had breast cancer, did a biopsy. She had to go through extreme chemo and radiation after they did the biopsy. Yeah. And it spread and all that shit. So, but she's clear now so far. She's clear. But it never did anything until they actually touched it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
That's what killed my mom.
went her whole life,
Trump.
with nothing, no health issues.
Yeah, and that's
She
what
went in for heart surgery. She had a triple bypass, and afterwards she kept telling them, and she was a nurse, and they wouldn't listen, but she kept telling them there's something wrong in her diaphragm, and she'd go right here, there's something wrong right here, and they said, well, it's just your healing, it's nothing. They would not check it, and she begged them to do a CT or do something, an ultrasound, to see it because there was something wrong, and they wouldn't listen. When she finally went to the ER because she couldn't stand the pain anymore, she had 54 markers for cancer.
Good.
You usually have 4 markers, okay? 4 markers, and it's level 4 cancer. She had 54, and her liver was the size of a watermelon.
Oh, Lord.
And she died 2 days later. And that was because they opened her up to do the heart surgery with her, and she had apparently had cancer. So, but they wouldn't listen to her.
That's crazy. But you're right though, Wally. I agree with what you say.
But my grandmother worked. She worked at Philip Morris. She worked for Lords, both big tobacco company factories. She worked in them. She smoked all of her life. She had to, the tobacco gets in your skin and you absorb it, or the nicotine. She had all of that. And she was 84 years old, I think, when she passed away. Never had cancer.
Yeah.
She had, I take that back.
She
had a skin cancer. She had a couple of spots from being in the sun.
Not the deadliest skin cancer, yeah.
Oh
shit. Now I've lost my train of thought.
When they ban cigarettes and people still get cancer, then it's going to be something
That's
else.
the funny thing. They tell you how bad cigarettes are. But now cigarettes do cause emphysema and stuff like that now.
OCPD
I'm not saying they're good for you by any means.
No,
I know they're not healthy. Nothing you put in your body that's not natural is healthy. But it is not the cause of all the cancers that's killing everybody.
No, I think I think a lot of that is preserves and stuff that's in the foods. And first of all,
but
your
makeup, your genes do have a lot to do with it. What your makeup is.
You do push things down from generation to.
People with cancer have a low melatonin level, and that could mean that they sleep with the TV on or work with the graveyard shift. Well, could be.
Jay, I agree. Everything in moderation. You can do just about anything if you do it in moderation.
Yeah. If you get cancer, they haven't checked your melatonin level. They are not trying to cure you, and will say it has a great chance of coming back. Gotcha. Mobile phones give you cancer. I know one lady that got it where she kept her phone on her. Now, I've heard that before. I've heard people keeping their phone in their front pocket and get cancer on their leg. If they keep it on their hip or something, they get cancer on their hip. I've heard of that now.
Yeah. I also think that I agree.
That's your 5G going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
don't sleep with your phone. Hey, and if you sleep with your phone sitting next to your, like on your nightstand, don't do that.
That's why they say anytime you get a phone call,
in another room.
Do it. Yeah. Also, when they say if you get a phone call, do it on speaker. Yeah. Keep it away from your face, away from your ears. I mean,
yeah, they are.
There's so much shit in my brain. I don't think it hurt it, but
heavy metals. Yeah. There's so much shit out there. There's so much shit out there that's making us sick. It's unreal.
Now I sleep actually about 10 feet away from my phone. I don't put it next to my head, next to my bed.
I don't either. I used to, and they say it could disrupt your sleep patterns too.
Good. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Good news, Ray.
What's the good news, Dave?
Well, I mean,
EMF, I believe, does cause cancer. I believe that.
I believe certain things can. Also, in 1985, thank God I was born in 1980 because I didn't get all the shots that they had pushed on people. In 1985, they demanded and required for the kids being born, was it 27 shots before they was 6 months old, and then like another 100 something altogether or something, or so many before they started school. And like they just, you can look it up, man, and it tells it there was a lot of new stuff coming in, and they were forcing, like I was listening to one lady doctor saying, when a newborn is born,
I had to take off my shirt.
The first thing they do is give them a hepatitis B shot and put that
5G,
smudge that shit in their eyes, and it's for like I don't know if it was for chlamydia or some kind of STD or something. And they said, first of all, why do they need to give a baby a hepatitis B shot? Even if the mother's got it, that she can't pass it to the baby. Why does and like that's the first thing they do with the newborn. They give it a hepatitis B shot. They smear its eyes full of this stuff. You can look it up. I'll look it up in a minute and forget what they call it. And like, it's weird, the way she was talking about it, this doctor lady, because she said these babies don't have to have all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's not, why are they giving it to them? Why are they doing that when it's not required? The baby should not have any of that anyways. It can't catch it from the mother, and it was a lady doctor I was watching on a podcast, and she was making a lot of
Well,
sense.
I think it depends on where you're at and what kind of facility you're in, because a lot of women are having their kids at home now, or they're having them in a birthing facility where they don't go through all of that.
I'd say they
They're
all
doing
need to do
nurses'
stay home
wives
birthing.
or
Yeah,
midwives.
yeah,
Like
midwives.
so.
I mean, what'd they do back in the day? You know what I mean? They didn't get up and have 10 specialists looking at them, delivering a baby. They had a baby and a woman pulling it out and taking, a midwife that knew what she was doing.
No TV in the bedroom.
Yeah, I got one in the bedroom, but I don't have it on. I don't even have it on. Well, it's on, but it ain't on. You know what I mean? I ain't looking at it. Volume ain't up. But
Right. I got behind on the chats. I'm sorry, guys. I need a help.
where you at?
I
Oh,
got
okay.
it, man. You're the talker. I'm the chat.
My stepmom has. Okay, she said, yeah. Gloria.
my stepmom.
Yeah, Gretchen was saying back in the day, having a child was a high risk of death, and it was because there are a lot of issues
Yeah.
that can come up, especially when they're, coming out ass backwards. So
I was.
it
All five
was
of my
very
mom.
difficult.
All
but
five of us brothers was born breech.
there's
That means
a lot
ass
of things
birth. I
today
came out an asshole and just grew bigger.
there's a lot of things.
I'm
available
serious.
today
All
that
five
makes
of my
it
mom's
a lot
kids.
healthier and safer.
She had us all butt first. We all came out backwards.
Oh man, you killed
She had
me,
my
man.
brother. Man, my brother was a baby, but like a premature.
Is that
She-
true? Lightning
What?
strikes have increased with cell phones. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. I don't never get a lot of lightning at my house. I mean, we see it a lot, but not like close. We have lightning rods and stuff.
Stay
You can
away
ask
from the
Siri.
battery.
Ask Siri, Ray,
Ask Siri what?
if lightning strikes have increased since the use of cell phones.
Siri, has lightning strikes increased since the use
Go
of
have a
cell
smoke.
phones?
Although some people speculate mobile phones pose a risk when used outdoors because lightning is attracted to metal, the amount of metal contained in a mobile phone is not enough to increase your risk of being struck by lightning. This is from enta.org.
It wasn't even the question, dipshit.
Yeah.
Has lightning
True,
increased
Jay.
because of cell phones?
Agree with you.
Jay, I agree to some of
Yes,
that.
cell phones can attract lightning. Lightning is attracted to metal objects, and cell phones have a lot of metal in them.
Quit
If you
asking
are in
it.
an
Don't know what the
area
hell
So
where
he
you're
just
talking
said no. Now he's saying yes. So
about. That thing's crazy.
Thank you.
From TME.net.
Okay, Siri, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's just more lightning
So
strikes
whichever narrative you want, he'll
people
tell you. Whatever
outside.
answer.
during the storms.
My electric went out this morning for, I think my daughter said, for like 10 minutes or so. So I don't even, okay, I'm trying to figure out where you're at.
The rabbit hole said like hit the like button, guys.
Yeah.
That would
dude,
be
we don't know who the rabbit hole is. So.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
Oh, I thought we had a pretty good live the other night, man. It did well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did really well. Appreciated everybody that came in. We did 25. What did we do? 2,200, 25,
Almost
2,300
2,300 views, I think it was so
Ah,
far.
that's pretty-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't
Uh,
have that many views, but I thought my show did good last Tuesday.
Yeah. For such a
Yeah.
small channel, I thought ours did.
We had a
oh,
couple
not-
people come up on the panel.
It did
Yeah.
good. No. Well,
I support your channel 1,000%. I ain't into the.
it takes time, Lolly. I mean, yeah. And I know you know that. It's
Yeah,
it's
you're
really
doing so much
difficult because
better.
I'm impatient, and like really like.
Yeah, you are.
But there's
Man,
things that I like,
relax.
not just about the growth of the channel. It's just I'm like in life, like there's certain things I want to see, or I want, and it's not like, oh, I need it right this minute, but I want to see it happen before, something. But when you're doing this, it's like, if you don't see growth and stuff, it's like it can be like a rabbit hole or depressing. Like with certain people get really into the analytics and people like, well, why did this do this one and this one didn't do this, and this was good. I worked hard for this one and and it didn't get no views, or you know what I mean. And then this one over here's got 500 or whatever. You know, it can be deep, man, and it's.
We're just having fun with it, so it'll go up or it won't.
No, I think
And that's
a good attitude.
Have you
That's a
seen
good
some of
thing.
the stuff that the YouTube kids are doing? These pranks that one of them got shot. There was a kid that got shot doing a YouTube. Supposedly, they said they were just doing a YouTube prank. I think they were just lying. But there's a bunch of them out there that are doing.
Not yet, Jay. Not yet.
Going into people's houses and
they're
trying
dangerous.
trying to get likes on their YouTube. I was like, how ridiculous!
Or they're
is
streaming it. They'll be streaming live, and then they'll. I've seen them getting jumped and the crap kicked out of them. Listen, when I hit 10K the other day, they sent me this thing YouTube did.
I would have been.
Huh?
I was talking to Jay on the chat.
This is what it said. This is from a fellow big content creator. If you're going to do any kind of live streaming or anything that involves a product or a subject matter topic, do your research as best as you can.
Mr.
You
G,
don't have to know everything about it, but be passionate. If you're passionate and you keep going on about it, people will watch. So this is coming from a big creator, you know what I mean? Emailing me and YouTube. And just trying to give you tips to how to, you know what I mean, to get growth and get people to continue to watch, you know what I mean? And I find it perfect for what people are doing, like us and Molly and them. Like, you know, you got a subject matter, you know what I mean? If you don't, if you get on there and just like we're doing tonight, hanging out, we ain't got no subject. It's kind of, you know, back and forth. But if you want your show to actually, your channel, in my opinion, to grow,
Hey, Mr. G.
I truly believe it's good to you know, pick topics and talk about subject matter and topics, and if you don't, and that's not your thing, that's cool. But if you you know, if you just want to post motorcycle riding all day, that's fine too. But if you stay with that, then you'll get those kind of people that want to watch that stuff. You know, everybody's got a cat. There's always I don't care if you say I'm not in no category. Yes, you are. You may not be to you, or you may not see it, but the other people will see it, you know.
I like Eric's point when he's talking, or Eric's comment. He said, good wineries play music to the grapes so they grow optimally. Unfortunately, modern music will destroy vineyards just like society. I agree with that. Yeah. Plants grow to music, but it's usually like classical music.
Right. Mr. G says, I think I need fertilizer for my YouTube channel. It's not growing very well at all. Maybe I'm just too lazy to do it a lot.
Could be.
I mean, it's all about what you put into it. You know, it's the effort you put into it. If you don't want it to grow, it's not going to, you know, it's a job. It's a job.
Full time.
Man. It's a full-time job. It drives me crazy sometimes.
Even if you don't see me on here, I'm still on here. You know what I mean? Still working behind the scenes, still figuring things, what to do, still creating shit in my head to put out and going to create it. You know.
Thought. That's a scary
and
thought.
Eric, it is the frequency. It's the there's different frequencies that will help your body and your chakra to align, but it helps with different plants, and finding the right frequency for the plant that you're trying to grow makes a big difference too, because they're not all the same.
Yeah, I agree, Jay. I agree. Everybody starts from nothing. Zero.
Yeah, I mean, we all start from the bottom. I started retired rider with, you know, no.
Started with zero.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm at 4,300 and something right now. So, I mean, and we start the rabbit hole with nothing. So, I mean.
Well, I started my other channel with nothing, and now I'm at, I don't know, almost 1,300 subscribers, I think, and that's only been what, 8 months.
And the more lollies out there, and the more mythical her shows out there, and the more it gets pushed out there, the more people will come in. And I'm going to say this, and I know people don't like to hear it, and I know a lot of people don't like it.
You don't say it.
I'm going to say it because that's what this is all about.
Say it anyway.
Go vertical. You have to go vertical. You have to push your content.
Do you know how many
out.
people we've gained and attracted since we've been vertical?
Oh,
You
no,
know,
it's
we're
crazy.
not sideways drunk. We're vertical. I mean,
I don't know.
seriously, John's got a point because I
I know
didn't
you're
really
supposed
think
to
it.
for it to push out, but I
Yes.
don't like the vertical.
I know a lot of people
I
don't,
get it.
but
A lot
look
of people
here,
don't.
I dove into it and YouTube, and I did a study, and it tells you over 60% of people watch vertical over anything else. If you want to attract people to your channel, go vertical when you do your live streams. I'm telling
Well,
you,
that's what we're
because
working
most people
on.
are on, over 60% of people are on their phones, and that's where they watch their live streams. They flip straight up just like they do the shorts and the, reels. They watch the lives like that. And
We're
every once
working
in a
on
while,
doing half and
catch
half.
people that agree with you and like your channel.
Anyway, Mr. G said, I really worked hard on it for a couple years. I guess I just got burnt out, just didn't get a lot done. I really am glad I met all the nice folks through YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great place to meet people. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's going to take more. Sometimes it takes 5-6 years before you even get anywhere.
Well, I know some people that's been on YouTube since YouTube came out, and they still ain't hit 1,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you've been on here for 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah,
and
but
they
some
still
people
can't grow,
aren't necessarily working towards growing. It's like with us, I'm not really concerned about growing the channel real big. I'm concerned about getting information out, having
but you need to grow the channel big to get it out.
People can chat and just having fun with it. I don't need another job.
Look there.
And it is another job. Hey, there's Coy.
It is. It is. I'll admit it. It is a job. Ollie, it's stress.
It's different for you too, because you work a full-time job and then doing a YouTube channel. And if you're doing like 2 like me, and I think Ray has 3, I have 3, but
I've got 3 channels.
I ain't doing much on it because I'm barely keeping up with the 2. So it's a lot of work. It is.
And not only that, I'm on 8 other different platforms. I got 3 YouTube channels and I'm on 8 other platforms. So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. If you just want to have fun and and that's what you want to do, there's not a damn thing wrong with that.
Nope.
It's all what the person wants. It's all what you want.
Right.
It's not what your audience thinks. It's not what they want. It's what you want to do and put out.
Right.
If they support you, like they say, they'll be there. If not, then you'll know who supports you and who don't. The bottom line.
Horizontal for a more intimate program, vertical to be the Well, see that, I mean, intimate. I get it with the horizontal, but the vertical is what's if you're not worried about pushing your channel out too far, then doing the horizontal is fine. Do that
unless you got a big channel.
Yeah, but if you want your channel, trying to push your channel out, and like Lolly, I think, did you say you're going to do half and half? That works too. Yeah, that works too. You could do 1 week this way, 1 week that way. Whatever.
All right, Mr. G.
See you, Mr. G.
Think outside the box, buddy.
Bye,
I mean, you ain't got to change it from motorcycle stuff, but just try to think of how you can film. Put your camera down and film, things that we would be looking at. Don't just put it on the bikes. What I'm saying, set it up in areas and show yourself doing things and going places, and not just mounted to the bike.
What's up, Coy?
And I was thinking it was 9 o'clock, guys. I'm sorry.
I said 8 o'clock. Oh,
slacker.
I had a brain fart.
Slacker.
Jay
says hi, buddy.
Jay saying hi to you, man. Pay attention to the chats. You got to start paying attention to the chat.
Yeah, man. You got to learn how to read, dude.
I know, right?
Today's
learn how to read.
Open the eyes.
What was that movie, Billy Madison? Going back to school. I got my boots tied tight. I hope I don't get in a fight.
There's a lot of idiots out there that have a lot of views, and I don't understand it.
I said the same thing, Jay. I said the same thing. Coy's background's like a prison cell. Because it's gray like brick, man.
Because I'm in the basement, man.
It's a plain little bed and brick, I'm telling you.
It looks like a freaking hotel room or something.
You want to see?
No, it looks like a prison cell. Look. Actually, that looks
bed.
nicer than a prison cell.
It's all right, Dave.
Yeah, what do y'all think about
Y'all
that?
doesn't know how to spell.
Exactly, Dave.
Yeah,
I
we
have
all
to
just go.
I have to talk in my phone most of the
I gotta
time
grab some
to find
coffee. I'll be
words.
back.
All right, Lolly.
Yeah, Dave,
Uh,
I'm one that talk text. I like to talk text because I can't spell long
So
words,
do
and I admit
I.
it, man. I was in special
Well,
ed resource classes growing up, dude.
well, it's not
I
only
was not
that.
that very good.
And not only that, I like talk to text because I ain't got to type stuff in. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't like
well,
to
yeah,
type
that
stuff
too.
in.
But every once in a while, it'll say some wicked stuff, man, and then you got to
Yeah,
go
well,
back and delete it and reset
fix
it
it.
because
Yeah, to fix it.
you know.
Yeah.
AI isn't that good yet to recognize speech, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not my. Someone said my speech is too hillbilly for it to recognize, so it don't understand my language. I'm like, damn, I was born in the country, but I was raised in the city and the country
Poison
outskirts.
Alcatraz.
What?
Poison Alcatraz. Jake
I'm in
said poison
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
Sometimes I feel like it.
Yeah.
I got to get me a different background job. I'll put it up.
Yeah, you do. You got that prison cell behind you.
Well,
Is that where your wife?
it would-
That's where his wife. That's where his wife throws him when he's bad.
Well, it's really nice in here. I got a nice chair over here. Nice.
what you ought to do is just
shelf
hang
over
you,
there.
go to Walmart, buy you a $5 American flag, and hang it up back there,
I know, right?
or something, or a beach towel that's got something you like on it.
Yeah.
What do you think about Trump opening Alcatraz? I think it's a big mistake, and I don't think it'll ever happen.
I
Because I don't
don't
think
either.
I don't think Congress will give them the money to do it.
No, because you know how much money it's going to take to redo the pipe systems and have
Oh,
clean
it's
water
horrible.
and be
They
up
would
to
have to tear
code
it
and
all
all
down.
that stuff. Yeah,
Start over.
They'd have to tear it down and rebuild it. They couldn't keep building
that
it.
would take billions of dollars that we don't want to pay and we don't have.
Yeah, we don't have it.
I mean, truthfully,
Well,
it'd be easier just to build a new prison.
Now, if you
Yeah.
could get a private company to do it, and then the government pays them to put the people in there, that might work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those prisons are privately owned.
Yeah.
They're just
Well, the one I was in was
business.
state. Mine was Tennessee
Yours is
state. Yeah, mine was state. So
But there's a lot that are privately owned.
yeah, and they suck, dude. They feed you like nasty food. You barely can get anything. You don't have cable. State, I had my own TV, had cable, free cable. The food was actually pretty good. I was a cook. I worked in the
He does
kitchen in the
snore.
mornings.
Hey Jay, he does. Hold on a second, Ray. He does snore, Jay, because when I was a kid, now this is no lie, we shared a room together, and I would have.
Let
to
me grab a
jump
water
in.
while you're telling that story.
Okay, thanks for walking away on my story. Appreciate that. But anyway, so I would have to run upstairs and get in bed and hopefully go to sleep before he came upstairs to go to bed. Because when he came to bed, man, if I wanted to sleep before he came to bed, he snored so bad I couldn't sleep. I'd have to go. We had twin beds. And we had a nightstand in between them. I'd have to go jump over, shake him, wake him up, go back to bed, and hope that I could fall back asleep before he did. Because he's a snorer. So that's probably why he's down there. His wife probably throws him down in Alcatraz because he snores too loud. Anyway, that was my story. Yeah, talk to text can really mess you up. You got to make sure you read what you talked, because you could be sending some crazy crap to somebody and be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" You got to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
It does make a lot from tours, does it? I didn't even know they were still doing tours now. Alcatraz, are they still doing?
Yeah, they're still doing
Yeah,
tours.
they do
Oh,
tours.
okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know they were still doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
I personally don't have no desire to go there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they keep talking about him saying, to house the worst of the worst and all that. And that's not what he said. He said it was to house the worst of the
The
worst.
worst of the worst. Yeah.
And he's wanting to make it into a holding place for the immigrants or the illegal immigrants.
So what'd you say, John? What was the story?
Nah, you walked away. I'm not telling
You
them
said
shit.
Jay, not Ray. So I felt like I had to go to the bathroom when I could.
That's all right.
I have a CPAP machine.
I do.
My wife, she keeps threatening that she's gonna set my GoPro up and record me snore. So she's like, "I'm gonna prove that how bad it is," because I do. I snore bad. But
I have a CPAP.
Get you a breathe right strips or something to open your nostrils up.
Those don't always work.
It works a little bit. Some people it doesn't, but
it ain't that. It's my heart and stuff. I quit breathing like 15 times per night.
Oof, that's not good.
Mm-mm. And with the CPAP, it's like 10. So
Yeah, I can't remember how many times they said I did in
That's not good.
so many
yeah,
minutes.
I've been through all those
but it was
tests.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I grind my teeth too.
Oh, my old lady
Yeah,
does that. And
yeah.
I tell you, it's like I want to just like stick a leather belt in her mouth so she, you know, or something like, you know, because it's like I feel like she's going to crush her teeth.
I woke
Yeah,
my
bad-
neighbor
That's how bad it is, and I feel like she's going to
Yeah.
break them, and they're just going to crack.
when I was younger. We lived in a apartment and we had 2 in the bottom and 2 at the top, and we lived in the upper apartment. And the downstairs diagonal from us told my husband to quit using his power tools in the middle of the night.
Oh,
He
jeez.
said, I'm not. I was loud. It gets worse when I'm stressed. When I get really stressed out, it's
my
terrible.
wife.
And
Do
my
you can look at
teeth
their
have
teeth.
suffered. Yeah, that's what's wrong with these.
You can look at her teeth and you can tell where she's grinding them down, where they've got.
Yeah.
And she's done it her whole life, and I'm like, damn, put a sock in it. You know what I mean? Because it's like that. It sounds bad, like
Right.
really bad.
My front ones have a ledge on the back of them where I've grinded.
Mm.
It's caused like a little ledge on the back of my teeth.
Yeah. I don't know. I know I grind my teeth. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I know I can tell when I'm grinding my teeth at night. It hurts. I also have an issue where I clench my jaw. Right.
Yeah.
And then the doctor said, well, you got to stop clenching your jaw. I'm like, I don't even realize sometimes I am, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's just,
Yeah, I have TMJ in my jaws. So they'll lock up every now and then.
That's not good.
Or pop. When I go to try to eat, they're popping.
I think they did, Jay. Riley Gaines swam it the other day and made it. She said if you like cold water and shark infested water, they could try it. I believe they did. The story behind that, man, is just wicked. The 2 guys that was in Brazil or wherever that claimed to be, they claimed that them was those 2 guys, that one of them had passed away or drowned or whatever, and the other 2 had survived.
Eric, how does eating a kiwi before bed change your life?
I don't know.
Got magical powers.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
Dave
Do they
says,
have melatonin
is that
now?
eating a New Zealander or the fruit?
Let's see.
So, New Zealander.
He was joking.
New Zealand.
Oh,
New Zealander. Oh,
Yeah, New Zealand.
Frank Morris had a high IQ. He had a boat waiting and no need to risk swimming in my. Well, even I think they had some kind of blow up thing or something. Even if they had halfway through.
Gotcha.
Melatonin. Okay, they use it for melatonin.
Oh, melatonin. Yeah, melatonin's to help you sleep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is the tryptolene or whatever it's called in Turkey.
So is Seroquel if you're taking
Knock you out.
So it's Benadryl, right?
No, those are not natural vitamins.
No.
Hey, Don Breed.
We're Dime Breed. Hello, YouTube. It's your favorite American local truck driver checking in from Southeast Georgia.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
I think he just bought him a new home. Now he's remodeling the floors.
Yeah, seen that, man. He's hard at work.
Eric,
Good
your
when
body
somebody can,
when you're in deep sleep, you have to be in REM sleep, and that's when your body rejuvenates itself. But the problem we have is that most people have a hard time hitting REM sleep and keeping it. they're up and down through the night. So
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm
you're
up
not able
25
to get
times.
rejuvenated, and your body's not able to heal as well
Yeah, I know it.
you're not in that REM sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You don't
hard to
stay-
get
You
that.
don't stay in that REM sleep very long. It's hard
No.
to stay in that REM sleep.
That'd be all right.
That's the
breathe.
best sleep for you to be in, and it's hard.
It's hard to get in it.
Yeah,
There's
you wear one of
a-
those monitors, and they'll tell you.
There's a app that I was looking at. It's called the Sleep Cycle,
Yeah.
and it can analyze your sleep. Of course, your phone is right on your nightstand by the bed, but it records through the night when you're moving but there's a lot of different apps that can help you analyze your sleep to try to help you get into a deeper sleep.
See, one of my issues was I was an early riser always, and then I had to get up and put wood in the stove about 3 o'clock in the morning, the wood stove. And, I got on that routine and just getting up.
Just stay there.
And just stayed in that routine for the last 20 years, 25 years, and
Eric keeps saying this: the EMF bed canopy will stop you from waking.
dude, I get up
What
4
is-
times a night just to pee.
What is the EMF bed canopy?
Keeps all the electromagnetic fields out, I guess. Electromagnetic field.
Keeps the mosquitoes out in the Bahamas.
So, like your phone gives off EMF, your wires in your room, all that stuff gets off.
Well, nothing's going to keep the cats and the dogs off my bed.
They say don't have your phone next to you when you sleep, or put it on airplane mode, because I can keep you.
What the hell is airplane mode? I've never put my phone on airplane mode.
That means it can't accept any signals. It won't.
Well, who would want to do that? I like my phone going off when people call me.
I don't want to be woken.
Well, you could put it in another room, and you can still hear it going off.
I'll
But
look it up.
they say if you sleep next to your phone, it will.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I don't have my phone next to my bed. I don't.
Yeah.
I
Mine's
have
about
mine
10
next
feet
to
away.
my bed, but it's on Do Not Disturb when I go to sleep.
I got a new clamp.
Nice.
Are you showing
It's
off
all
your boys,
metal.
man?
It's all
Bye,
metal.
Jay.
Boys.
It's a 360 look. Let's see if I can show it. It goes any which way I
Jay
want.
says, gotta go see all great content
For the
Just
anything I want.
dive
For the
on-
bike or for the. All right, Dave, buddy. Have a good one. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jay.
I
Thanks,
know it's
Jay.
morning
Bye,
time
Dave.
for you.
See ya.
Oh, Jay's got to go. Jay, bud,
Yeah.
thanks for stopping by,
Jay's
man.
leaving. Dave's leaving too.
Hopefully we
All right,
see
Jay.
you Sunday night.
Yeah.
So
Okay, folks. Yeah, but next exit left. This is. See you, Dave. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you.
John, my man, went to high school together on Smith. John Smith.
Julian,
Always Killian. John. We went to high school together.
Oh, John.
Did we?
He's talking about you. I thought he was trying to talk about his second
Uh,
name. John.
Oh,
Do you recognize him?
I don't know.
He said he went to high. Damn, when was that? Like
More information.
1945 or some shit?
That was not 1945. What the hell are you talking about, man?
Hey, God, who would remember that?
Thanks a lot, dude.
I had to get him on that one.
he's not
Well,
that
no,
old.
really. You was in high school in what, 76, 70s?
Hey, watch it,
No,
man.
really. Like, you're what,
No.
56?
I was born in 1968. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. So you actually was
Yeah.
80s then.
Yes.
Oh,
My
okay.
God,
I thought you were
old.
late 70s, like
Oh, boy.
77, 78.
Yeah,
He
well,
said it was 1854.
Oh, my God.
We was at the schoolhouse together,
Hi, Silent Soul.
little boys.
824.
Always Killian.
Uh.
I don't know who you are.
Well, I'm sure his name wasn't always back then. It was probably just Killian.
I
His
know
last name
that. I
was
tried to
something.
look at his picture, you jackass.
Lord. So
Silent Soul. Hey, now.
so remember, dude, you was in school. Where was you in school at? What town?
I'm
Where at?
Smith. I'm Smith. Smith who? I don't know, man.
What high school?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I'm good, Silent Soul.
Silent
I'm
Soul.
I never mean to be in a bad mood. I never. Someone said, "Are you having a good day?" I said, "I never take off to have a bad one. I never wake up to have a bad day. I always try to have a good day. I try to stay
Yeah.
positive, and if
Try
I
to stay
don't,
positive.
then you'll know it.
Positivity has a lot to do with your health. You got to keep a good
yes,
positive attitude.
yes. You got to be. You got to have
if
that
you have-
energy. I think a lot of it's energy, man. That positive energy. You get negative
If you
energy.
have
Guess what?
negative-
You get depressed and lonely, and you just get to thinking and stressed, and that depression and that negative energy takes a toll. Positive
Gloria,
energy, man,
What
that
happened,
can get.
Gloria?
Takes your
On
toe.
the other channel, some
So,
guy was hitting-
Killian,
guy
tell
was
us some
messing
stuff
with
about
her, so
John
she
in high
hammered
school,
him.
buddy.
Hang on a second, Ray. I'm going to. Oh, that's that.
What'd you say?
What I said? Gloria said she was on the other channel and some guy was hitting on me. He got
What are
removed.
Yeah, he was
What a-
being rude, so she hammered
Oh
him.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
getting
dude.
ready to, but I
Kick him
she
out.
handled it.
What other channel?
Well, we
On
have
here,
three.
Oh,
was
the
on the
Retire
chat.
Rider.
Yeah, we're streaming on 3 platforms right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, absolutely, moderators. If there's something going on, get rid of them. It's okay.
If they're rudely disruptive, yeah.
Yeah, if they're disrespecting you, get rid of them.
Yeah,
If
we
they're
don't put
just
up
hanging
with
out,
that.
being goofy, that's fine. But any kind of disrespect, get rid of them.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna have that.
I mean, we don't. You want to give your opinion in a respectful manner. We love opinions. We love
We want you
interactions.
hitting
But
on women on here either. Though this is not.
Yeah.
This is not a dating site.
nope.
So we won't be doing that.
Well, not just that. A lot of people think it's open market just because we're on social media. That every woman is
that's true.
available and every woman can just do whatever. So, all right, Killian, let's hear some wicked stories of John in high school, man.
Yeah, I don't think this guy.
Smoking in the boys' room.
I did that.
Was you behind the bleachers with the now I don't know if you guys continued doing it. Did you play any sports in high school?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe then you wasn't. My mom said she wasn't a cheerleader. She said the initiation for the cheerleaders and the girls was
I hate when guys cheat
was
on
the
me.
boys. The boys would get up on the top bleachers with eggs, and the cheerleaders, the new freshman cheerleaders, and the new kids was coming in. They would, and the bleachers was like real high up. The football teams and all the sports teams would get up there and crack these eggs, and those girls and stuff had to catch them in their mouths, like 30 feet below, and you know what I mean? They, back then they did all kinds of, man, it was like all kinds of traditions back then. Like now it's like, that's abuse. You know what I mean? You go to jail for doing something like that.
Yeah.
You can't have like, initiations or.
Yeah, but you got to understand, back when Coy was in high school and back when I was at the end there with us, with my generation, because I'm 3 years behind Coy, we was allowed to smoke on school property. You had a place where you could smoke. Now they don't have that.
You could also have a rifle in the back window of your truck too.
I took archery.
Yeah. There's so much stuff you could do back then. You
You
can't
don't have that no more now.
No, you can't freaking have
can't
window
do
tint. I mean, it's like you can't even have window tint.
Eric Gray said, I went to school in a zoo
with the metal shop, construction,
wood shop, all the good stuff.
Yeah, we had wood shop. We had GBT, General Building Trades. That was our wood shop. We had.
But could you imagine wood shop right now, or metal shop, or any of that?
We had.
Well, my daughter's taking welding for the next 2 years, so
We had driving a tractor to school day.
We still have all those. We have General Build Trades. We have welding. We have mechanics. We still have.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
we still have small engine repair, which is small appliances and stuff like that. Yeah, and then we have lawnmowers.
Lolly,
and
did
stuff.
I hear you say drive your
There's
tractor
we got
to
one of the
school
biggest
day?
state campuses,
Yes, you did.
high schools in the state of Tennessee.
We have a technical school that you go to. Like once you hit high school, then you can go to the technical school.
That's what we have. Diamond Oaks. You can go there.
We have that.
Your small engines or welding and all of that. They don't necessarily have it in the high schools anymore. But when I was in school, they had home ec, and the girls weren't supposed to do wood shop and mechanics because I wanted to be in wood shop, and they wouldn't let me.
Well, they wouldn't let my daughter these first 2 years, and because they only allow one female at a time.
Why?
That's it.
What the hell?
They're stupid, but it's kind of like a line base. You know what I mean? These girls have been waiting in line. So her ball coach told her next year she'd make sure, because she's also the guidance, lady, the softball coach. So she told her, she asked her what classes she wanted. And she told her, she said, I've been trying to get into welding for 2 years now, and y'all won't put me in there. And she really wants to learn. You know what I mean? She wants to go to a vocational school and learn too when she gets out. So
Well, welding's
she's
a
like,
good
well, I'll make sure
prep.
you're in there, your junior and senior year, and so
It's
they
a
just-
hard one, but it's a
yeah.
good one.
but they
My
just,
son took it and was a welder.
I mean, it's just, she wants to learn. She wants to, do things. It's a good paying job. If you're
Yeah,
good
but
at
you
it,
don't
if you
wanna
learn the
kill
right
it.
way, and
Welding, man. The welders I've known, and this is not saying it's going to happen to everybody, but the welders I know that did welding for a living, they were something wrong with them, man. They had some issues upstairs smelling that welding stuff.
all the
Yeah.
fucking,
They
all
were
It's
that-
hard on your
crazy,
neck.
dude.
It's hard on your
Yeah.
neck. It's hard on your eyes, and you breathe those
They were,
fumes.
they were all loopy or crazy or something, man.
dude, I
Like,
remember
man.
Eric the Great going to school just to get to eat, son. I remember starving
Oh,
at home. I remember going to school just because I knew it was going to be a meal to eat.
And that's what it's the way it is for a lot of kids to even this day.
Yeah.
Day, they go to school to eat, man. That's
Yep.
sad.
That's what I
That's
did.
really sad.
Or we all, all of us, man, we enjoyed going to school because we knew we was going to get breakfast and lunch. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes some kids did drop out because they had to go to work and they had
Yep.
to take.
oh yeah, there'd be a lot, especially in this town I live in. They're so back then,
Crazy, man.
like farming and stuff. It was they didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Everybody was so poor. So
we were so poor. When Wall Street fell, we didn't even know it fell. I mean, we were so poor we didn't
even know there was a Wall Street.
Yeah.
The hell's Wall Street? I'm down
But
here
I
on
was
Main
blessed.
Street.
I will say this: for most of my childhood, we were blessed. We had pretty much what we wanted. So, I mean, we didn't starve to death or anything like that. But
we didn't starve to death, or I wouldn't be here. But we did go, many, many nights in cornbread and beans. And when we didn't have that,
Hey,
it
ain't
was,
nothing wrong with cornbread.
oh no, nothing at all. But
Unless you're doing it.
I
every
mean,
night.
there was just times I can remember, Shriners would come in the house and bring a couple boxes of food to do us, for a month because we didn't have no food, or we didn't have any.
Right.
Mom with 5 kids going back to school, trying to work 2 jobs. They only gave her two. Now this is the 80s. They only gave her $200 in food stamps a month for 5 kids. Nowadays it's like $1,100-$1,200. You know what I mean, for 5 kids. But where she was working and going back to school, they only gave her $200. And let me tell you something. That fed us for about 2 days. So
Yeah.
5
That wouldn't
boys.
even feed you for a day now.
No, no. So
That's
Yeah.
how bad it is now, man. It's bad.
we eat a lot of oatmeal, a lot of rice. A lot of dry milk, dry food. So
Have you ever been? Call me Carrot. Have you ever been to North Carolina?
yep,
Yes, I have.
every year I go.
Yep.
I have been to North Carolina, South Carolina. Been all. Yep.
I go to Salisbury, North Carolina.
Hi, Gen X.
Gen
And
Yeah,
beyond.
there's Gen
happening.
X. Yeah,
Gen X. Dun, 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 dun.
you could tell
Yeah.
everybody on that other channel to come over to this one in the chat, whichever one we're in.
Well, I mean, yeah, they could if they want.
Because if there's people's comments showing up, I'm not seeing in that other channel.
Yeah, we're on Rabbit Hole and we're on Retired Rider. So,
So are we supposed to be seeing both of them?
Yeah, you should. Because when I leave a comment, it goes to both. Well, of course.
Well, I didn't see anybody being disrespectful
I
then to Glory. I'm not saying they wasn't or
Well, what
flirting
I'm
or whatever.
saying,
But
well, the reason you didn't see anything is because you talk so much, you don't read nothing.
Yeah, he was
I could
being,
do 3 things at once now, John.
he
You
was
know
being
that.
a bit precocious.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah.
I was.
Most Democrats do.
What?
I said most Democrats do.
Hey, if I was a Democrat, would that be something bad?
No, sir, it wouldn't. Because
Okay,
I don't.
Thank you very much.
I don't look at that. Don't have to agree on stuff to.
I wish they
Just
would,
be
Gen
friends.
X. Make it a lot easier on people that need it for medical reasons.
What? The legalizing stuff?
Yeah, Gen X and beyond says, do you think the new DEA pick and Trump will legalize pot?
Nope.
I said, I wish they would. It'd make it a lot easier on those that need it for medical purposes.
Tennessee and Kentucky will be the last states to probably
And
ever
that's where they
legalize.
grow it the most, ain't it?
Yeah.
Kentucky's
Yeah, where they grow the
legalized
most.
it.
I don't think so.
Kentucky
Is it?
already.
No.
Yes, they did. You can have a medical card. Yes.
Well,
you can.
medical
Well, it's not,
maybe,
but
but
it's not recreational.
No, it's not
Yeah,
recreational.
that-
It's a
that's
it's
medical.
not like California or Colorado.
But Indiana's
Or
it's
Ohio.
completely illegal in Indiana. It doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Yeah, I don't think Indiana's ever going to legalize it.
No, they're not. Until it's
I don't-
federally legal. They said the governor said that if it was that he would not legalize it until it became federally legal.
Because it's nonprofit for them. It's no profit.
You know what's going to happen to him, though, right?
hopefully get booted out.
That's probably
Dude,
what's
when
gonna
they
happen.
legalized it for recreation and everything in Colorado, the mayor of Denver was on the courthouse lawn passing them out. You know what I mean? Passing spliffs and blunts.
Where's
and
all that
everything
money
out.
going?
Exactly.
They're losing money. I mean,
Yeah.
Indiana could have a profit from it too, but they're
So could
they're
Tennessee,
losing
but
money.
that's what they said with the damn lottery. But why
But
is
it's
Yeah.
just like the
why isn't it
casinos.
going back to the schools like they said it? You know what I
They
mean? Why?
wouldn't. Indiana wouldn't allow the casinos to come in either, and lost all kinds of money when Kentucky built casinos.
Well,
So,
everybody,
I mean, they're just being stupid.
everybody in
Well,
Tennessee
Indiana
would
has
drive to
casinos,
Kentucky to play the
but
lottery.
they're on the water.
Do what?
Indiana does have casinos. They're on
Yes,
the water.
but they're on the water. They're not on Indiana land.
Right. But you go through Indiana. You need coming off Indiana onto the boat.
But they're still losing their profits. That's one of the reasons why they allowed them to have it on the water close to, because we've got one right down the road, and we've got one up the road. So, there's casinos you can go to, but they're still losing their money. There's several profits and taxes and things that they could collect if they made it legal, and they could collect it
Hey,
on
Mark.
marijuana too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't want medical marijuana. Yeah.
I mean, it's still there.
It
so-
doesn't matter to me. I don't smoke it anymore, so I don't. I think it would
I have no
benefit
problem with it being legal.
I
It's no
have,
different
yeah,
than
me either. I
alcohol.
think it would
I don't
benefit the
care.
economy, but
It matters
it's,
to people who people who have cancer and
yeah.
have trouble eating. It gives them an appetite. It matters to people who have, there's a multitude of diseases that it helps.
Oh, I
Not
agree.
to mention if they legalize it for the manufacturing for the hemp products, you can make everything just about out of hemp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You make
It's the
cars
big
out of it.
companies that won't allow it. It's the big companies that are keeping it illegal because it messes with their profits.
Mhm.
Don't mess with my profits.
CBD doesn't work as well.
No,
No.
you
No.
need some real smoking, don't you?
I'm sorry, sick. I got on my bucket, didn't I?
Everybody said no.
Exactly,
Don't
Mark.
work.
Big pharma. Can't profit off of it.
No.
Until it
Marijuana
is-
is Earth
until it is
greatest
federal.
radiator, or it wouldn't have showed in for.
Well, what aggravates me
Yeah.
What aggravates me about it is the states, and the other states did it too until they legalized it. Every cop, I smell marijuana. You've been smoking marijuana, you get pulled over for speeding. I smell marijuana. No, you don't, because I don't
Yeah.
smoke it. You know what I mean? That's their excuse to get you out of the car, to pull
It's
you
just
out.
like alcohol.
their
They do the
excuse
same
to-
thing with alcohol.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Alcohol's
I smell
worse for you.
alcohol on your breath. I
Have you
smell
been
alcohol
drinking
on your
tonight,
breath.
sir?
Yeah.
I think I smell alcohol.
Your
Yeah.
eyes are bloodshot. You've been drinking.
Yeah.
How much
Just
have
waiting
had
for you to
drink?
admit to anything. And that's what I'm like. They're like, I don't care. When was the last time you smoked? Was it 10 years ago, 15? I'm like, I never smoked. Because once you admit that you have, then they get you. You know what I mean? So never even tell them you have or you do. That's what I say. Nope, I ain't never tried it. What are you talking
You
about?
don't
That's
have
the
to
fifth.
answer any questions.
They can't prove it.
whatsoever.
Yeah,
You
well, the
just
first
keep
thing
your
you're
mouth
supposed
shut.
to do, first thing you're supposed to do if you get pulled over is pick up your phone and hit record. Then, when the officer walks up, say, "I invoke my Fifth Amendment." That right there is on record, on camera, even if his body cam's not going, or if it is, it's still on his cam too. That's what you do, and that way you do not answer any questions and go from there. Because I think it's the silliest thing in the world to pull someone over for a dead tag, or, oh, my tags has run out, or my brake light's out. Why do they need to get out of the car and be searched? Why do you need to call a canine dog? Write them a ticket and let them go. You know what I mean? If you run their name and something comes back, warrants and stuff, cool. Get them out, do your job.
Well,
But if it don't,
traffic cops.
but if it doesn't,
Cops.
write the ticket and let them go.
Yeah, they're just out there to collect, money.
Yeah. Instead of, enforcing laws, it's like
Right.
they're trying to, just take everybody to jail and make as much money and it's like they're extreme, man. I mean, I'm not against the cops.
It's ridiculous.
There's a lot that just makes
exactly, Mark. The founders had marijuana.
Yep, 10 and 2.
Yeah, 10 and 2. Keep your hands.
I mean, just don't do anything to break the law. I'm just saying, the best thing you can do is know your rights.
Yeah, but I don't feel like getting into the big thing with some cop.
Well, you don't have to. You just have to say, hey.
I just don't like when they ask when they pull you. I haven't been pulled over. I couldn't tell you how long now I will get pulled over, but I hate when they ask you where you've been or where.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Where are you going?
Yeah, it's none of your damn business where I'm going.
It's none of your damn business where I'm going.
It's none of your business. I said that to a cop one time. I said,
like you're a kid,
I don't think that's in your business. He goes, you don't need to get smart, sir.
See,
you don't have to ask me questions that's none of your business where I've been or where I'm going.
Well, then they say that's unlawful. Then they say, oh, you're being unlawful. You know what I mean?
They're fishing for information and to see if you are coming from a drug-related neighborhood or if you're gone through one.
They try to build a rapport with you. Yeah.
Say something else or contradict yourself in any of your statements, they're going to get you for something. So it's best just to keep your mouth shut and say, I don't consent.
Yep, I don't
consent. And I'm not speaking.
So
just if you pull me over for whatever, give me the ticket and I'll be on my way.
And I agree with John, man. It's like, am I a child, dude? Do I need to tell you I'm coming, where I'm going, where I'm coming from? I mean, no, I'm a grown man. Don't ask me where I'm going.
And then they'll ask you, do you know how fast you were going? Because they want
no shit, I was driving. Yeah, no.
I'm not going to tell you.
What you say is, no, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Tell me.
Yeah. Where's the radar? Show me. But yeah, I hate that worse than anything. Like when a cop takes that authority to the next level.
Exactly. Humanity has no representative because we don't teach humanity anymore.
No. Did you hear? I heard a new law. They passed a new law that if you have a concealed and carry, that all 50 states has to recognize it now.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. If you have a concealed carry, all 50 states have to recognize it now. So you can go to all 50 states with.
And Pam Bondi is fighting California's laws.
Yeah, they've killed their Second Amendment pretty much. I mean, you got to have everything down to the T out there.
Now they got to accept yours if you go there.
They're working on taking it away through the federal level.
Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to crush it out there.
I thought it was hilarious that no nut November country gets a pope named Leo. I don't answer questions.
Exactly. Don't answer.
American cops are mean. Not all of them. Not all of them. I'll tell you what. Now the local cops are, and the city cops are, but sheriffs around here where we're at, they're pretty cool. The sheriffs are pretty cool. I've dealt with them a lot, and they're pretty cool. So I've talked.
Some are. There are some good cops out there who really want to make a difference and do the right thing, but there's so many bad ones that the good ones end up getting kicked out because they're not,
Well,
like the blue line or whatever.
Well,
most
yeah,
of
the
your
blue,
county
Sam
and
Blue
state
Line game.
cops are the ones that are not very good. Your state troopers, they're kind of dicks.
Yeah, they are.
The
Oh, they are.
sheriffs are probably
They're
the only decent
assholes,
ones
dude.
because the sheriff he's elected, so he has to he's elected by the people. All these other ones were not elected.
Yeah,
Well, there's a lot of corruption in the elections too.
I know a guy
Well,
was
Sheriffs can
Well,
be just as
You're,
bad
you're
as all the
voting
rest of
on
them.
you're voting on your sheriff. You're not
They
voting
fired
on
our
your city
sheriff,
cop. You're not voting on your state trooper or township cop. Those are not all. Those are you don't vote for them.
we
Those
had
are
a sheriff that got caught. We had a sheriff that got caught, and they fired him, and he actually got fired and went to jail for like a year. He actually was taking this female out of the jail and taking her to a place and sleeping with her and
Oh, geez.
giving her drugs while she was in jail, and would take her back and lock her back up at night, and would go and get her and take her and go have sex and then take her back, and they busted his ass. And then I knew this one, and they fired him, so they brought in another guy got elected or whatever, and he ain't
And
no
I
different.
bet he got another job at another county.
No, he went to jail for like a year. He ain't been a cop. The sheriff ain't been a cop, and he's like basically went into secluded, not showing his face or
Seclusion.
nothing.
Well, it don't make a lot of sense to me the way they do things, because they'll start an investigation and before it's over, they let them retire, so-called.
So they can
And
get
then
their
they
pension.
just go get another job at another county or city. There needs to be a list, or like you can't.
Well,
do
some
that
do.
if you're a
Some when they
lawyer.
pull. Well, some if they're so bad, they pull their jacket to where they can't ever be a cop anywhere. And then
Thanks, Mark.
some they
I've
just
seen
pull
some
where.
that were really bad and they didn't do
Yeah,
it.
well, that's what I'm saying. Some they just pull where they can't be a cop in that town or that county, and then they go to a different county and get a job. And they
Thanks,
got so
Mark.
much stuff against their jacket, you know what I mean? That so a lot of times people are so short-handed with the police. That's why they hire them, because they're short-handed. And
Right.
but yeah,
All
I don't.
that does is cost them money because
Yeah.
they get sued because they've got some egotistical jerk.
That violates people's rights and puts his hands on somebody. And I knew a cop for 20 years, this man, older man. And he was like, I tried for 20 years. And he said it was just corruption, bad cops, good cops. Some was good, some was really bad. He said, after 20 years, he said, I went into the seminary, went in and became a preacher. He said, I wanted to help people. He said, I started out as a cop wanting to help people. He said, I could never really help anybody the way I wanted to because the bad cop, one or two, three, whatever, the bad apples. And the system was making it so hard for him to actually help people. So he left after 20 years and drew a pension, but went into, and became a preacher. So he said he could, actually help more, and he helped more people by being, a youth preacher and a minister and everything than a cop, because there was so much corruption from the system.
Roscoe,
Like they didn't want to help nobody. They just want to lock people up and get put them on probation, and there is no rehabilitation centers. All those jails and prisons, them are not rehabilitation centers.
No,
them are prisons. They're meant to house people that are criminals.
They're privately owned prisons, so somebody's getting a profit, so it's not going to change.
So
I liked Roscoe Pico Train. He's an idiot.
What was his dog's name?
What was it?
You know why they don't play Dukes of Hazzard on anything anymore?
Because of General Lee.
Yep, because the rebel flag on the top of the General Lee. That's why they don't stream it on any channels. They took it down in 2016 because of it.
Bet you it'll be back here soon.
It was Flash. His doggy's name was Flash.
That's right. Yeah.
He barely moved. He was always laying around. Flash. Cletus, yeah. Brutus, yeah. I think it was Flash. Was it Flash?
It was Flash.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
It was Flash.
Cletus
that was a good show.
Mechanic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And Uncle Jesse was the old man, and Daisy was the cousin.
It's all you ever saw.
Yeah, they were cousins.
It's the day they were born.
Yeah, Waylon Jennings did good on that song. It was a good show, man. I always liked it. You know, it was, I mean, two guys that was not criminals, but they were close to the line, you know what I mean, of breaking the law, but doing good, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It's back of what, Hazard County, Kentucky, or something like that.
Yep. Hazard's dangerous. It's a good name for it.
How come?
You don't mess around in Hazard.
Oh.
Those are hillbillies, and they will kill you before
I
they
thought
will
you
look
meant
at you
like
if you ain't
something
careful.
else. Yeah, we got some places like that here. Shit don't fly easy here.
There's a lot of things that goes on in them there hills, huh?
Yep. You got to watch which driveway you pull into if you go into a rural county.
Yep.
Well, you got to be careful up in them mountains, man. I know. I've been in
I'd
those
hate to know
situations
all the secrets buried in these mountains.
North Carolina,
all the
Virginia,
people that
Kentucky,
are buried.
Tennessee. You don't mess with the Appalachian Mountain, especially the
No.
people.
No,
Don't mess with
Even
them.
the cops don't mess with them.
No, they don't. They know better.
They don't go up in the mountains. They're like, we ain't going up there.
We'll go to almost to the, they'll drive, even if they're county cops, they won't mess on that side of the county, you know what I mean? They just stay on the main road.
Not unless they, really have to go.
Yeah.
When they're made to go, when they get the federal police involved in it.
I was going to say they'll pull feds in with them. Yeah.
Yeah, they won't do it by themselves.
Right.
Hey, American Uncensored.
Warren County was corrupt for a long time. They had their cops were so bad. They just finally got a new sheriff in town, I guess, and he changed a lot of things. But
New sheriff in town.
They finally arrested a man and his wife here about a year ago. They took this young guy out. He was probably in his mid-30s or so, late 30s or something. And he got in a car with him to go sell him something. And they took him down one of those mountain roads, and the man and his wife beat him till they knocked him out and was robbing him. What they doing? You know what I mean? They set him up and was robbing him. Well, when they knocked him out, a few seconds later, he started waking up. So they pulled a knife and unalived him. You know what I mean? And over just a few, drugs that wasn't major or nothing. And I mean, that's how bad. Left him laying there in the mountains, and they didn't find out who they were and catch them till like 3 months later. They just got sentenced to life in prison here, this past year.
Damn. Look at that.
People don't care, man. They'll do it quick, especially with
the
drug epidemic.
The rebel flag. I ain't scared. There it is.
No, that don't mean nothing. I mean, unless you want it to mean something stupid, you know what I mean? That ain't stupid.
I got one on my front porch.
I love that car, man. God almighty. That's a nice car.
So if
I'd even take that color.
When they built, it was in one of the construction buildings. They were in the middle of building.
I'd even take that color on that car. I wouldn't care. It ain't my color, but.
So if I had one of those cars, I wouldn't drive it in Detroit.
Why? Because they're racist? Sorry.
They might be. But
everybody sees what they want to see and everything they want to see it in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history with that flag, and that's all it is. It's history.
Yeah, but if you believe it or not, man, you come down to the South over in South Carolina and Virginia, places like that, there's a lot of black people that actually wear that flag and that represent that flag.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you that ain't hatred, that's heritage. And their people, their ancestors come from that flag. And you see these black people riding these horses over here and all this stuff.
American
And
history.
people think they're all gangsters and, out here shooting everybody, and they're not. You know what I mean? Not all
Well,
of
the
them.
thing of it is about the flag, about the rebel flag, and about these statues and everything, good or bad or indifferent, if they own slaves or whatever, I don't care. It's our history. We can't just go do away with our history.
Whitewash it like they want.
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to keep history alive. You have to learn from your past too. You have to learn from your mistakes too.
Yep.
So that's why you want to remember history and teach history, and you want to show history. That's the whole point.
Well, when they took civics out of school, it kind of ruined a lot of stuff. A lot of kids don't learn certain things, and not only that, when they tore all the statues down of George Washington, the people that built this country, and then they put a 12-foot black fat woman, no offense towards a black fat woman, but statue, bronze statue in the middle of New York. Come on, man.
That was crazy.
This is some dumb shit we're doing here. You know what I mean? And they're saying, oh, was that Letitia James? Well, no, but they're trying to represent
That's
New
it.
York.
They used her as the model.
Yeah, and it's like, what
That's
the hell,
ridiculous.
man? What, you're going to tear down Abraham Lincoln to put up a statue like that in the middle? And nothing about you want to put up the black lady, put up the black lady. But don't tear down all the other people, I mean, if you want someone to represent your community, fine. But let someone represent this country that built this country. Don't tear them down. In my opinion. Now, that's just my belief,
Yeah.
Don't tear down the important people. I don't care if he was General Lee. By God, he meant something in history. Maybe not, my day of time, but he was in his day of time. He was there for a reason. I mean, Benjamin Franklin, all these people that contributed to this country.
Or this country wouldn't be here.
Exactly. I mean, that's like them going out there and knocking down the damn, in South Dakota, the damn faces off the,
Mark says, you can read it. We had a black president that married a guy named Big Mike. Jeez. Hey, let me ask you guys this, and this is a serious question, a legitimate serious question. Do you really think that Michelle Obama is really a guy? Do you guys really believe that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't
But they're going to get a divorce.
No.
Well, that's not what I asked you. I said.
Well, he's divorcing her or him or whatever it is.
What difference does it make? I mean, really, what?
I mean, I
Who
just want to
cares?
put it to rest. I mean, right, you're right, Lottie. Who does care? But they talk about it all the time. It's like, I don't know if she is a guy. I don't know if she isn't a guy. But I guess.
But
right
what
now,
was
Well,
hanging
the
in
problem
that?
is whether it's a guy or not. Quit pretending you're one thing and not. If you're a guy, be a guy. Why are you pretending to be a girl?
Because maybe she's a transsexual or whatever.
Yeah, but you could still be the sex that
He
you
wouldn't.
are.
He would not be He would not be a past president. He never would have been elected if people knew for a fact that he was gay and his wife was a man. It
Why
never
not?
would have happened because people don't do that.
Well, then you got to go by the
They
majority.
won't accept it. They would not accept it at that time.
And that's
Shit.
fine.
Black
That's
people
fine.
accepted it. They went off because a black man was running.
Votes, that's the way it is. But don't live a lie.
Well, the thing is, they wouldn't accept it now. There'll never be a transgender president. That's never going to happen. I'm not trying to be mean to transgenders, but I mean, it's just not going to happen because the majority of people in this country are not for that. But that being said, do whatever you want to do. If you're 18, 21 years old, you want to be that, be that. That's your personal business.
But leave the kids alone.
But leave the kids
Yeah.
alone.
I agree.
If you want to be transgender, if you want to have a sex change, I don't care. I'm not going to dog you. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to be mean to you. I'm not going to come after you. I'm not going to do any of that. If you're an adult, do whatever you want to do. It's your body. Do your thing. But don't force it on 9, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old boys where they're
What's up, Rico?
castrating themselves. Don't do that. Leave the kids out of it. But if you want to do that as an adult, hey, do you, man? Whatever. So that's the way I feel about it.
I agree.
I think he slipped up too many times and said, Mike and I thank you, you know what I mean? Or Michelle and I, I think she
I've
is a
never
man.
heard him say that.
I
I've
have.
never heard him say
I've seen videos.
Now they're
videos
saying
I don't
that,
know if he is or not American
She
Uncensored.
slipped
There's
up
a
the
lot
other
of
night
stuff
in that
out
damn
there where he's
interview
just
with.
as woke as everybody else
you know,
is.
now they're saying that he killed that chef.
Yeah,
That
and
was
Joan
the girl.
Rivers. Joan Rivers outed her. A week later, Joan Rivers was dead.
feelings has destroyed humanity.
Joan Rivers outed her on camera.
Well, but like Lolly said, does it really even matter, especially now?
Not to me, it don't. They got $70 million. What do I get out of it? You know what I mean? They're living a life of fantasy and elite. That
Yeah.
who cares? You know what I mean? Who gives a shit what she does or he does? I don't care. It doesn't affect me. But yeah, leave the kids alone. We need to pull that shit out of our schools. We need to get back to man and woman and structured man and woman having kids and building this country up. That's what we need to get back to.
Because if
Traditional
you don't,
housing.
if you don't, then civilization will cease to exist.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, God made Adam and Eve,
ain't
not Adam and
reproducing.
Steve.
Night,
You're gonna
2-4. Have a
exist.
good one.
All right, buddy.
Night 2-4. Thanks for coming in, man.
I mean, sorry if that topic's a touchy for anybody, but it's true. Just leave the kids alone. You get an adult, you want to make a decision, that's on you.
Look, the politics have been living a lie for 200 years. Yeah. Greetings, Rico. Mental
But
illness
also-
is on the president's app. The new pope is going to slam the hammer down. I heard that he's a lefty, isn't he?
He
He's
is.
from Chicago, so
He follows Pope Francis that just died. He's kind of like,
He's woke.
Well, first thing,
he's a woke pope.
yeah, but here's the thing though. Here's the first thing, in my opinion. Now, this is just my opinion. Here's the problem I have with it. First thing that they said, well, he lines with Pope Francis. His politics are the left, and I'm like, okay. First of all, this is why I don't do Christianity, because there should not be any politics. It should be about God like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Jesus and God.
The Roman
Catholics.
Catholic
He's
Church
supposed to
has been
be from
around in
St.
politics
Peter's.
from the
I
beginning.
know that, and they control a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is, but he's supposed to be a teacher to the people. Is the Pope supposed to be? Not a politician to the people. He's supposed to be a pope, of God, of keeping the religious, whatever, Like I said, I don't know their teaching, so I don't, but I can guarantee you if it's supposed to be Christianity, it's not politics. So I do not care for any of that stuff. I don't even care for my local churches because there's too many politics in that. You go in there and there's politics everywhere, and it may not be political
No, but
politics. It's
you don't
politics
have to
inside
be-
the church, and I'm
But
like,
you
I don't
have
want to deal
be
with that.
Christian or you don't have to follow Christianity, and you don't have to follow Catholicism if that's not your beliefs. However, Catholicism is, for whatever reason, has always been in politics. It has always been at the forefront. It makes people that make laws, so they have influence. So it's always good to to follow what they're doing and who's in the lead to know
Oh no, I get that.
what's going to be going on.
I get that, but I just think if you're going to be preaching and supposed to be teaching your teachings, the news or none of them should be saying, well, he's a left pope, he's the right pope. You know what I mean? Like no one should even be.
I was more replying to Mark Travis, who says, I don't care about the Pope. I'm a Christian.
Yeah, exactly. I don't either.
You still have to, just like I'm not a Democrat and I'm really not a Republican, but I'm going to follow what both of them are doing because I want to know how my life's going to be affected.
American Uncensored said he's a registered Republican.
He's still a woke Pope. It don't matter.
Yeah.
How do we know he's woke? How do we know this?
Just look at all the stuff they're researching. Go look at his history.
Yeah, they said that he not just lined with Pope
He
Francis.
lines up with
Pope
the
Francis picked him and sent him on a mission to go to Peru, do his teachings there, do a lot of stuff that align with Pope Francis's, agendas.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Really.
Yeah, well, I won't because I don't really pay attention to what they do. I never
Well,
even know what the Catholics are doing anyways.
I don't mean Ray. I don't mean we're going to set the TV and just gawk and see what it does. That's not what I meant. We'll hear it through the grapevine. I mean, I'm not going to follow this guy. I mean, come on. I'm just saying we'll know. They'll be talking about it at some point.
Do the Catholics read the Bible?
I don't know. I don't know what the Catholics do.
I don't know, man.
Because why are they praying to a man or asking a man for forgiveness?
Exactly.
Yeah, that don't.
Because just like every other religion, they take what they want out of the word and put in what they want and make it the way they want it to be.
Yeah.
He said even the
just like all the religions. And it's just like everybody that quotes the Bible.
So basically, that is
you can make it what you want it. Huh?
They're using it for control.
Yes. Yeah. It's a man-made control.
Yeah, put Jesus.
We had that discussion before.
Yeah, and then it's Roman Catholics, right? Roman Catholic. Wasn't Rome?
There used to be a monarchy, and then they knocked them down.
Rome was involved heavily with the church. That's why
they used to be like a monarch.
He aligned with woke on immigration, but he spoke out against many of their other agendas. Is what he said. That's what America Uncensored said. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, what he does, and where he stands in the church.
Like I said, I don't know what their teachings are. I don't follow. So.
No, the Pope won't be the beast, but he may be. But no, I don't think so.
No.
Well, I thought there wasn't supposed to be another Pope.
Yes, there's an American Pope.
Well, they said
one of the prophets from years ago said that there's only going to be so many popes.
Yeah, well,
this one is supposed to be the last one. The last,
because
they just said 2 or 3 weeks ago when this guy died that there wouldn't be another. So,
but no, they come out and said
was a different prophet.
They come out and said that one of the popes resigned and he didn't count as the Pope.
They always
so it didn't
come
count.
Up with an excuse.
I know.
Well, he was the Pope. He just resigned.
They said the way
come up with an excuse. There's always an excuse when their prophecies don't pan out. It's we're a year ahead,
or I miscalculated, or I missed this, I missed that. Then why are you saying anything if you don't know for sure?
Yeah.
Well, because we're translating the prophecies. It doesn't mean that whoever translated it's correct. They translate, that's why you look at Nostradamus prophecies and you say, oh, yeah, he said this. So this happened last year. So he must have been right. This happened this time. And so that made him right. Well, it's not always right.
No, because you know how the Simpsons does it.
If you're throwing up a sketty on the wall, something's going to stick.
Do you know how the Simpsons do it? The Simpsons said that they do it they predict so many different things that they just get so much right. You know what I mean? And there's still so much wrong. They get a lot of stuff wrong, but if you go and look, it tells on certain shows where they profit things.
If you go look
how many episodes that they've done and says that eventually they get something right. You know what I mean? So they do so many, they create so many that they don't even put out. You know what I mean? And they create so many of them, you're going to get something right.
They're prophesying every day. I'm like, how are you
I could profit 100 things, and some of it's going to come true.
I'm like, you're going to put out prophecy every day, and there's a whole bunch of them, and one says one thing, and the other one says another thing, and each one says they're right. No, I'm right, and you're prophesying every day. I'm like, wait a minute, that didn't happen.
I totally
the Bible. Prophets didn't prophesy every day.
Wait a minute. Let me speak for a minute, can I? This is supposed to be the last pope. Many are worried that he is going to help bring in the. Hang on. I'll lose it. He's going to help bring in the Antichrist. Also believe that the Vatican is the whore of Babylon. See, I don't agree with any of that. No disrespect to you, American Uncensored, but I don't. The Pope has nothing to do with anything. The Pope's not mentioned in the Bible. The Pope doesn't. That whole
on our Bible
thing is no. That's all garbage. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in the Catholic Church the way they do things. But if you're Catholic, much respect to you. That's okay. We could agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. Be you, do your religion, whatever. But no, if you're speaking in the Word of God, of the Bible that we're used to, none of this. The Pope has nothing to do with anything. It's irrelevant. It means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. What's going to happen in the future? Or what's going to happen in the rapture? Or what's going to happen when God comes back? Pope has nothing to do with it. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
And Mark, they can't open the Vatican for all to see, because then all would know that the Vatican is false.
Right.
Well, they have too many hidden secrets.
Hidden secrets and hidden rooms. Yeah, you know what? And that's why, I have a big problem with Catholic Church. Not Catholic people that go to church, not the people. I have a problem with the leaders of the church. I have a problem with the priests and the cardinal, all the people, because they're freaking child molesters.
Not just that.
They are.
What
They're
gets me?
disgusting people, and they make me sick. And none of them went to jail for it. They molested these
because
children.
They have enough money to buy it, to pay it off.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they're
disgusting. But
do you know?
Discipline them. Wait a minute. Let me speak. The church don't even discipline them. They just send them to another place and just act like nothing ever happened. They're a sick bunch of people, and they disgust me. And that's it. Period. With the Catholics.
But you can't group all Catholics with.
No, I said the
people.
priests that did it. No, I'm saying the people.
I watched an interview of a guy.
Are just members of the church. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people that the priest and all that, and the fathers that molested these children and never even seen a day in jail. It's disgusting. And that's
but there's cops that have done that. There's preachers that have done that.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, that's what turns me off about the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I agree.
I watched a guy give an interview to a guy, and he interviewed a Catholic guy, and he asked him 4 different ways, and he was asking him about that child stuff, and he said, well, it's God's plan. He said, and the guy, the reporter kept asking him like 4 different ways, if they, was it, you know what I mean? Did he believe that was a sin, or did he believe it, with the way that happened, the way they did those boys and stuff? And he said, well, that's God's plan. And he said, how can you sit here and say that's God's plan for that kid to go through that? And he said, because it teaches that kid how to go through trauma and And the reporter was like, excuse me, wait a minute, and asked him like 4 different ways. And he kept coming back with the same answer, saying that's what we believe. It's God. Everything that happens is God's plan. And the guy who interviewed was like, dude, you're sick, man. You know what I mean? That's not God's plan to do this to children. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that turned me off about him. The guy fought tooth and nail to say, oh, everything that happens is God's plan. It's just God's plan. That's what's supposed to happen. No, not in my eyes. It ain't,
It's like, this is just down the rabbit hole. It's not about writing or religion. It's about everything. It's just a live chat for everybody to get together.
We're just hanging out, man.
Talk things through.
What's the problem?
And Star Blender, Doritos.
You guys are seeing stuff I ain't seeing.
They're probably looking at that other channel.
You'll get to it. You're running behind.
I know. I get behind.
She'll be worn purple and gold and sits on 7 hills. She? Okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
President Trump is dead. He said on TV.
Next time. Thanks, Gloria, for coming in. Good to see you. Good to have you. Always good to have you.
Who?
Oh, night, Gloria.
Gloria.
Oh, Gloria. All right, Gloria.
I missed that one.
He said, Mark says, I listen to Joe Rogan.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. So
there is. There's a lot of people. And it ain't just churches. It's a lot of people. It's just.
I'm not trying to not hang your comment up on purpose.
Well, they wouldn't let P. Diddy have his bond the other day. Eric, I think he got actual federal charge. Yeah, I know. He actually got charged with federal charges now. So they denied him bail. And so. Are we just
on y'all's personal chat Zooms or good Seems
Yeah,
good.
man, we're having a live stream. We're just discussing things, and if you want to hang out and be cool and respectable, hang out with us. Yeah, we're just sitting here hanging out. We don't have really a topic tonight. We just
We've
jumped
talked
on to.
about all kinds of things tonight.
Yeah, we've had many
Yeah,
topics.
we've been around the world. We've down the rabbit hole. That's what we do here. And Coy sits down there looking like he's in prison or something.
Yeah, the deep state's awful. I agree, Eric. The Jewish faith. Yeah, I don't get into that faith either. It's not me.
Yeah, the Jewish
They
faith
there's too
believes
much.
You can have sex with 3-year-olds, and
Well,
Christianity is a branch of Judaism. What? Okay.
I don't get into everybody else's.
Okay.
If somebody believes in something, that's why. First of all, that's why we have a Constitution, the First Amendment. Freedom of faith. Religion. You can believe in what you want.
Speech. Do your thing, man.
Yep. You can believe in whatever you want.
You can believe in aliens. You can believe in Bigfoot.
Well, I mean, it's just freedom of religion, freedom of speech. There's 5 pillars.
Does Bigfoot pee in the woods? Yeah, I guess he does.
Crap's there too.
Mark, thank you, buddy. We're just average,
me.
I'm just uneducated, below the line guy. I just like to talk.
I don't believe Epstein is dead.
Most of the shit I say is bull crap anyway. So
that's just my personal opinion.
Just make it sound good.
And he keeps talking over me every time I speak.
I'm doing it on purpose because he knows I'm messing with it.
He's doing it right now. See, he keeps doing it.
See,
I
don't know what channel SW is on, but you can kick him.
Where is it at?
SW.
Mr.
I ain't picking my nose, and I'm not a him.
Okay.
Well, first of all, look here, man. And people complain. What they don't get is when they leave the house, like people want to talk about cameras and stuff. And people filming, like when we do videos, I had some guy, even in the motorcycle community, man, people still, like you go to a rally, a lot of people still don't want to be on camera, A lot of, especially older people ain't used to, seeing a camera.
Hold on, Mr. Rock. What is this? What is Rockish?
Raleigh's.
Wait, yeah. What did he say here? How do you programs feel about Trump duping you with that mega thing? He was made as a white Obama into y'all. Well, he ain't duping me. He wasn't made
duping you.
He ain't duping me into anything, and he's not my savior, and he's not my God, and
And he sure as hell ain't no Obama because Obama sucked in my opinion.
Now wait a minute now, but he's not. I like his policies. I don't know him as an individual, and I'm not going to go kiss his feet. But I mean, and nor did I like Obama.
Well, Obama could have been a great president. He chose not to.
Exactly.
Yeah, he could have been a great uniter. He had the ability for it. He had the charisma for it.
Instead, he divided.
And he said he wanted to do that. Instead, he divided us. Because I remember before Obama came along, our race relations were not bad. I mean, there's always racist, blah, 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 blah. But on each side, every side, there's not just white racists and black racists. There's white racism with white people, black people, Chinese, whatever. It's out there. But I don't think our race, I don't think our race problem was that severe. I think it was getting better. We were getting along better. That stuff was dying until Obama came on and just ruined it all and divided us into races.
Because they love identity politics.
Yeah.
That's why they love to divide.
White people representatives in Congress and the Senate do the same damn thing.
Yep.
So
I gotta take the doggies out. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. When they divide, they actually conquer. Because when they divide us, they actually are conquering too. They get their money, they get their ways, they get their programs, they get us fighting with each other.
Yeah.
And then they get away with whatever they want. Okay. Eric says Area 51 is where the scientific proof California will fall into the ocean or granted
ocean or generated. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying.
No, it's not, Kyle.
Just a grinder meetup. No, it's not. I never met a Democrat I'd vote for.
Me either.
I can't say that. If a Democrat came along and I liked his policies and I believed he was genuine and he had good policies, made good sense, I wouldn't have a problem voting for him.
Trump was a
I'm
Democrat.
not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm not any of that. I'm an independent, conservative. I don't have any party affiliation. I used to. I don't anymore, because to me there is only one party, and that's it. There's not two parties. There's not three parties. There's not. I'm an independent conservative. I just vote for the best person with the best policies that's going to do the best, be the best president for the country. And if it happens to be Trump, it's Trump. If it happens to be a Democrat next time, then it'll be a Democrat. It is what it is. I don't care who you are. If your policies are good and you stand for what's right and you're going to do what's right, then I'll vote for you. If you can prove that you're going to do it. If not, then I'm not going to vote for you, whether you're Republican or not.
Look at this. How many times?
And I hate when people say, well, I voted for the lesser of two evils. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means.
Means they don't like either
It means
side.
you don't have a choice for any good.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
But here's the thing. What did Joe Biden say? Oh,
Don't vote at all of it.
The adults are back in the room. The adults, I'm going to unite. That was his whole campaign, was unite out of the basement. Unite, unite, unite. Unite people. Really? Because the first thing you done was people started burning cities down. You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter, burn cities down. I mean, come on. Let's just say the facts. The facts is they went, that was their summer of love, she said. And then they said, okay, they don't believe it was COVID. Now they're coming out saying they don't believe it was COVID that kept Joe Biden in the basement. They believe it was his decline so bad because he can't, you know what I mean? That the real truth is because it wasn't COVID. It was his decline. They didn't want nobody to see him. They sheltered him so much. You should have seen him on The View yesterday. He couldn't even talk. And Jill, sitting right there next to him, had to finish the questions that they were trying to ask him. Every question.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
He went blank. His eyes.
Kept going blank. Yeah. And that's
I'm
why
not going to disrespect the guy because he's got dementia.
But we don't need that in office.
No,
well, they shouldn't have put him in that situation.
No, that's what I'm saying. To me, it was elder abuse.
Yeah,
they should have never put him in that situation. Yes, Biden was crooked. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, they're all crooked. So what? So what's new? What I'm saying is, they did elderly abuse to that man. They used him.
Jill did the worst. Yep.
Yeah, and his own wife was horrible, man. She's a horrible person. I mean, she is.
You answered every question like he was in kindergarten.
Obama did suck. LOL. Yeah, I mean, Obama. I'm not saying there's presidents all through my life that I've known that I've recognized was they old enough to understand what the president did, what the president was. They are Democrat and Republicans that has done good things in their presidency, but there's some that has done a lot of bad things.
Yeah, warmongers and just bullshit.
There's things that Trump does that I don't like. So I mean, you're not going to agree with everything. You're not going to like the person. You can't look at it as the personality or the person like that. No. You have to look at their policies.
What's best
that's
for
what
you.
You have to judge them by. You can't judge them.
Well, I think a lot of that also is down ballot. It means a lot. You need to know who your local officials are, your state officials. You need to put in the people that's going to try to make changes or that lines up with your values and your stuff, and what you believe. Everybody's like, oh, we just vote this and then we vote the down ballot a certain way. No, vote, go down to even your local mayor, you know what I mean? Your local school official, vote, find out who these people are, in my opinion. And see what they're about. See if their values line up with yours.
I really believe this. This is what I really believe about Obama. I really believe that Obama in the beginning was the person he was. He was that person he was saying he was. He wanted to be that person that he said he was. But the problem was that he got wrapped up in all the other crap. And they basically told him, you're going to be the person we want you to be. And you're going to do what we tell you to do. And that's how they buy presidents. And they bought him, and they bought his soul, and he sold it. He sold his soul. And that's why he ended up being the president that he was.
And that's why he came out $70 million richer, too.
What, Coy?
That's why they hate Trump, because they can't buy him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why Obama came out $70 million richer, too. Every president has benefited, made millions off their president, except for Trump. Trump's the only one that's lost money. Not only that, Obama, even the black preachers and stuff in Chicago said Obama wouldn't even still to this day come and visit in their neighborhoods, and none of that would never come to those churches, would never come to try to bring the communities together, and nothing.
Right.
What's the first thing he done when he got there? He put a pride flag up on the White House. I mean, seriously, he did. You can go look it up. I mean, everything's public. And nothing towards that. It's just, for me, I don't line with those values, and ain't never going to.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of that should be in the White House. Any of that should be in politics. You know what I mean? No identity shit. It should be, about our country and how to help the American citizen.
Yeah, I agree. None of that should be in the White House.
None of it.
No.
If I agree with it or not, it don't matter. It should not be in there. It should be.
Yeah.
It should be about building this country for the right reason, not for the wrong. Yeah. And I can tell you right now, the lineup's looking pretty shady, in my opinion, for them. So,
Democrats aren't practical enough, Mr. Yeah, I mean,
no, they're all activists, man.
But it's not just Democrats. It's the same shit in the Republican Party too. That's what we need to not forget.
It's a 4-year system.
The Republicans are fighting Trump now. They don't want to pass anything. So don't. It's not just the Democrats. It's the Republicans are doing the same shit behind closed doors. It's the same crap. They're all fighting against it because it's hurting them. Anything that Trump's trying to do is hurting them. It's taking money away from them. That's what they all hate. That's what it's all about, taking power away.
Well, that's why they hated Doge.
Yeah, that's why they hated Doge. And they don't want small government. They don't want smaller government because that takes money from them.
Yep. Yeah, it takes it out of their pocket, puts it in ours.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't just blame everything on the Democrats. Look what George W. Bush did his 8 years as president. He's about destroyed the freaking country over these wars and crazy shit and 9/11 and taking our rights away, taking our freedoms away. So don't just say it's the Democrats. You got to put the Republicans right out there with them. They're all shit, in my opinion. Sorry. Lolly's going to tell me to take a chill pill.
Biden falls down. It can't make sense because he was born in November. What's wrong with November?
I don't know.
That's my birthday.
People are stupid, man. They say stupid stuff. Sorry.
I don't think anybody that votes Democrat is an idiot. I think if you're voting for bad policies, yeah. But if there's a Democrat out there, like take Stephen A. Smith, I missed him the other night. If he would run for the Democratic Party, that would be the best thing for the Democratic Party because I think it could get them under control and put them back on the right track. But right now they're so far off track. I mean, if they brought somebody up that had the right policies and was doing 80% of what the American people want, then yeah, they would be all right. But the thing is, they're so far out there that's their problem right now.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that they won't be a good party again, so-called party, because it's a one-party system. But anyway, that doesn't mean they can't get back to some kind of normalcy. I mean, the Republicans will be out there.
Get rid of the parties and start dealing with the issues that are at hand. They need to get rid of the major salaries that they're getting, all the benefits that they're getting. We have internet now. They need to stay in their own state, and they need to vote on one bill.
I agree with that.
Period.
I agree with that 1,000%. Stay in your own state. There's no reason for you to be up in Washington. Stay in your state. Get on the computer. Do your Zoom things. Whatever, like we're doing right now. They can do the same stuff. You don't need to be out there. You need to be at home in your own state, taking care of business. I agree with that.
And Lena, it's not a conspiracy channel. It's just a channel with people in it that's just having chats and talking about different things. We've talked about all kinds of stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody's entitled.
Depending on what channel you're on. I'm a conspiracy nut. No. If you're on Unchained Down the Rabbit Hole, we do go into some
conspiracy theories, yeah.
Some conspiracies.
If the Democrats don't come back to the people, because the majority rules, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And if they don't come back to what the people want, they're going to be in trouble.
Well,
you cannot force your ideas onto the people. It's what the people. It's about the people. It's not about you. You don't go into the government and tell us how we're going to live. We tell you how we're going to live, and you're supposed to do what the people want. and the majority of the people want this, you have to do that. That's just the way it is. If you don't, you're going to end up
in trouble.
Feel somewhere.
That's why they.
You need to say your bit about its opinions. It's not personal, and people need to be nice and not make it personal.
No, this is just for entertainment purposes only. This is just our opinions, individual opinions and thoughts. We're not trying to force our beliefs on anybody out there in the chats or anybody out there anyway. It's just our personal opinions. My personal opinion, Slavi's personal opinion, Coy's, Ray's. I mean, that's just what we're here. We're not trying to force anything on anybody. They can believe or change your beliefs or anything like that. And it's for entertainment purposes only. That's what this is about.
In DFT, we're not telling anybody how to live.
No, I won't tell anybody how to live. It's none of my business. It's none of my business how you live. It's none of my business what you do or how you live your life. That's none of my business. And I'm not here to tell you how to do that.
But just it is our government. It is John's channel, and we do come on here and like to speak.
Just like the government shouldn't tell you how to live your life. They're not there to dictate your life. It's we the people, not we the government. We the people. The government should be up there telling me how I should live my life and what's best for me.
No, and we're not telling anybody how to live their life and what's best for them. So,
right, that's what I'm saying.
That's what we're about.
What the majority of the people want, the way they vote. That's what you have to. That's the way the government should go. The way
if you believe that Trump is ruining the country now, though, then that's fine. Much respect if you believe that. I mean, that's fine. I have no problem with that. It's your opinion, and I respect it. I have no problem with that. I don't agree with it, but that's your opinion.
Look how many countries has bowed down and given us tariffs that are, better deals. That's going to
all the stuff that they've done.
The 40th bank just closed in China the other day, and people standing out, hundreds and hundreds of people can't even get in the bank. They've closed them to get their money. Their whole economy is falling. And you tell me Trump's tariffs ain't helping? I mean, it's making them where they're going to have to deal because they need the American consumer. And trust me, all these other countries that need us and the stuff we have too will be a lot better deal. And we can stop paying out so much, and we can actually start doing, at least try to do fair trade.
Hang on. Let me say something here real quick. Let me say something. Look, we're here to have a chat and express our opinions, and it's okay. It's all right. And if you want to come into the chats, you want to come into the channel and express your opinion, I got no problem with that. And I'll show you respect. But I will not have anybody come in this live stream or this chat and disrespect anybody. Don't do it. Because we're not here. We're not about that. We're not racist here. We don't care if you're black. We don't care if you're white, Chinese, Mexican. I don't care what you are. We respect everybody. Respect everybody's opinion. But please, no personal attacks if you're in the chat, because the moderators in the chat will kick you out, because we're not here to disrespect anybody. So if you have an opinion, I'll read it. And if I disagree, that's fine. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But please be respectful of everyone. That's all I ask. All right, go ahead.
I don't know what you were doing, but okay. I mean, I know what you were saying. Where was you at? Thomas? Did you read Thomas's?
No, I'm just clicking on it. They have to get back to finding more money. Crackhead Hunter can't fly around the world being the bag man for the Biden crime family.
No, they're broke. That's why he's trying to come back in. That's what they're saying. That's why he's trying to come back on TV and do interviews and try to get speaking. Now he's got a $30 million book deal fixing to come out so he can tell all, since Jake Tapper and these other people are books coming out this week to expose all their stuff of him being declined and how the media covered up. So now Biden's like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to write our own book. So they're giving him a $30 million. And that's what they're saying. The grandkids are all broke and all that, and they're all like, well, the money stopped running. You know what I mean? The money has stopped. Right. So now that's why he's trying to come back out and do these high, press tours and speaking things. And he even dropped it from 500K to 300K, and nobody will hardly. He said, no, they just want him to go away. He can't speak. He can't even answer questions on The View of people, of these women that soak and love him. You know what I mean?
Let me just say this. I don't care about Biden. I don't care. He's gone. He's history. Yeah. Let's leave that in the past. I don't care. He screwed things up. We got to fix it. Let's move past it. It's
exactly.
Same thing with President Bush, Jr.
Got it.
He screwed everything up. We
Yep.
had to move past it. Obama, he screwed everything up. We got to move past it. There's been so many presidents that screwed everything up. We got to move past it, fix it. I mean, hopefully Trump can fix a lot of things, but he's got 4
I don't
years.
see him doing a lot because I'm for Trump.
There's not much. Yeah. I mean, so we'll just have, I don't know. I mean,
He's fighting tooth and nail to do anything.
there's no perfect president, and there's no, I mean, it's just, and it's us. Really, when it comes down to people, in my opinion, it's up to us, the American people, to fix things. Because if you're going to depend on your government to fix things, this is the
You're
way
gonna
we're
wait
going to
a
be
while.
forever. This is the way we're going to be forever.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever going to change.
Well,
So we as the American people has to fix it. Because if we don't, we're going to be in a terrible mess. In my
can't
opinion.
expect one man to fix everybody's problems.
No.
And you need to vote locally and
Well,
fix your local
Lena,
problem.
if you have heard so much bullshit and you don't agree with what we're talking about here, that's
Quit
fine.
watching.
You can leave the chat. Just go ahead and leave. Much respect. Have a great night. Obama was not a good man. I don't know him personally. I can't say that. I can't judge anybody. I could judge. I could say what I seen, what he did. I didn't like his
You
policy.
can judge his actions, but you
I
can't
judge his actions, but I don't judge his heart. I don't know his heart. I don't know what he was.
Well-
I mean, I know he was controlled, and most presidents are. That's the whole point. They told him what he was going to do, what he wasn't going to do. They got him elected, and they told him, "You're going to do what we want you to do," and that's what he did. Because that's what the money, the people that has the power has the money, and they're going to. And they bought him the presidency basically, so they told him what to do. That's how it works.
because
That's
they
why they
told
didn't want Trump.
Hillary to sit down and shut up.
Yeah, they told Hillary to sit down and shut up because she was winning. She was going to win the nomination.
She was.
And they told her to shut up. They
Yeah.
told her to sit down and shut up. So,
Well, I was going to say something to Lena. First of all, you got to stop watching CNN and MSNBC. You got to do your own research. Because if you're just going to go on what everybody says and believe what the left
Lena,
says,
Trump
then you're
can't
never going to open
destroy-
your mind up enough to even.
Trump can't destroy the whole planet. He doesn't have charge of the whole
But that's the
planet.
thing. These people, though, John, they listen to one side and they're not willing to have a
I'm not here to
dialogue
tell them what to
conversation.
listen to.
I know. I'm just saying, though, you can't
Don't
get
care.
through to people like that because they're
not
not
trying
willing
to
to
get through.
listen. So.
I'm not trying to get through to her.
Oh, I
I'm not
know.
trying to get
I'm
through
just
to
saying
anybody.
if somebody, I know that. But what I'm saying is somebody that comes on and just talks like that, I can tell that they're not the kind of person that expands their mind and has critical thinking and critical conversations with, both sides to figure out the truth.
Enjoy your inflation. It was already there. What do you mean?
Yeah. Inflation was killing us when Joe Biden hit. He hit it and knocked it up to, what was it? It rose so high.
What was it?
Well,
50?
he said, I
Mr.
got it down. Got it
Mr.
down to
Neighbor, I don't know how, I
three.
can't pronounce that first name, but neighbor, I'm going to call him neighborhood. There's nothing wrong with Trump. People just need there to be something wrong with him. Yeah. I mean, and that's like
True.
that with every president, though. Let's say, so if you have Trump, you got the left going crazy, the Democrats going crazy because of Trump. Now, if you have Biden, then you have the Republicans going crazy about Biden. It's just how it works. It's just the process.
Well, here's the main thing.
That's how they let me finish. That's how they keep it divided. That's how they keep us divided. That's how they keep things the way they want it. They want you to be divided. They don't want you to stand strong together. They division, divide and conquer. That's what it's all about.
It's
As long as
called
we
doing
stand-
the same thing
Yeah,
over and over again
exactly.
and not learning from the history that we already have.
Exactly.
It's
Expecting
called
the same
insanity is
result.
what that's called.
Yes, it is. And that's what we've
Seriously,
got.
that's what it is. When you do the same thing over and over and you never know. But no, here's the main thing. I seen both of them as presidents. So I know what I chose, why I chose Trump. Also, you know what I mean? I seen who was better at the job and what they did. It ain't like Biden just came out of nowhere and I was like, oh,
Okay,
I
hold
can't
on,
stand
hold on,
him. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Lena says Trump is a dog. So I'm going to tell you something, Lena. I've given you every chance, and I've tried to talk to you and said, show respect. If you can't show respect, guess what? Goodbye. You're gone. I'm not going to tolerate disrespect here. He's our president. Show respect. You know what I mean?
I
Show
think she's
respect to
already
people.
gone.
Well, I banned her anyway, so she's gone.
Give him the boot.
Just show respect. That's all I ask.
Well, that's why I was saying earlier. You want to hang out and be cool, hang out, but you don't have to be disrespectful. You know what I mean, or say anything out of the way crazy. You can speak your opinion without being disrespectful. You know, you can say I don't agree with what he's doing. I'm not for him.
Yeah. Doesn't
You
mean he's
know,
a dog. Doesn't mean he's a
inflation.
dog.
I mean, gas is down, eggs are down. I mean, yes, things still got to come down, but you got to give the man enough time to, change clothes. I mean, I get he makes promises. That's Trump's ego. You know what I mean? You gotta look past the ego and all that stuff and look at the policies and look at the real time.
Well, he ain't the only
It
president.
may take a year or two before he even gets to drilling again. Really, they got it so messed up. It's
At least he talks to the media. I mean, at least you know what he's doing. Mike wouldn't even talk to nobody.
Uh-oh.
he's transparent.
Did Lolly click out? Lolly, where'd you go?
I just think,
Did she get mad?
I don't know. I don't think so. I wouldn't think so.
If you all four can't keep up with 11 people who are chatting on live, it's pointless. Okay.
Who's saying that?
I don't know. I'm not going through the comments real fast. I mean, I could go through your comments super fast if that's what you want me to do and not pay attention to them. That's fine. I'm the only one keeping up with the comments.
I'm a conspiracy realist. Yep. Let's see.
It's just hard to do that.
Okay.
With one
We
person.
grow marijuana. DFT. You only knew.
I'll just
DFT.
roll real fast.
If you don't want to get
Hey, Asia, how you doing?
how to live,
Sorry
don't start a stream telling people how to live. If you don't, we'll get told how to live. We wasn't getting told how to live, and our stream is us talking. Like we said at the beginning, it's our opinions only. We're not trying to influence anybody. We're on here to have a good time, and people want to hang out in the side chat and have a conversation and be respectful. They can do that, but we don't tell anybody how to live and what to do.
Nope.
So
Not what we do here.
nope.
So
And if you actually knew who we were, then you would know
Lolly,
we
come
didn't
back
do that.
in. Lolly, I don't know what happened, but if you're
So-
listening, come back in.
She said she hit a button.
She hit a button. I've done that. I'm trying to catch up with these chats real quick because people are saying I'm not keeping up with the chat. So here we go. Whoop.
Thank you, Mark. Like I said, if you took time to watch more than one of our live streams, then you'd realize we don't tell people what to do here. Now, like I said, we may speak our opinion and what we believe, but we don't never push it on anybody else.
Woo!
So
I caught up. All right. Yeah, I just I don't ask everybody to agree with me, and I know not everybody's going to agree with me. I'm just asking to show respect. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you disagree with me. I know everybody's got their own opinions and their own thought process, and I get that. I respect that. Just respect mine. That's all I ask. That's all we ask of our live streams. That's all we ask in the rabbit hole. That's all we ask anywhere. We're not trying to disrespect you. That's all we ask in the rabbit hole. That's all we ask. Oh, we've got an echo. Echo.
I gotta turn it down.
Echo.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I was trying to figure out how to get back in because I lost my little link.
Oh, gotcha. So
I used to do
where was
TikTok.
Good luck out there, everyone. I'm going to walk my
All right,
dog.
Eric.
All right, Eric.
Thanks
Have
for
a great
showing
night,
up,
man.
buddy.
Have a great night, my friend. I used to do TikTok. I've never been on TikTok in my life, so I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I ain't never even been on that.
John,
thing.
do you have closed captioning on your channel? Yes. Is this the annual gathering of boomers? What? Is this the annual gathering of boomers? Okay. No, I don't think so. Is it, guys?
I'm not a boomer.
Not a boomer.
No,
I'm not a boomer. I'm not a boomer.
I'm not a boomer either.
Not a boomer. I'm not a boomer. I may be a bummer, but I'm not a boomer.
No, I just
Follow.
think that, we,
Follow the white rabbit.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So, like I said,
Why do we
Gen
gotta
X.
put a label on it? We're just
exactly.
People. Hola, Miguel.
I'm just Ray. That's that.
Gen Xers? Are you a Gen Xer?
I don't even know what
Just
years
saying.
those started and what years they, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Miguel, hello.
So, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. I just think there's a lot of coming, lots of stuff coming, lots of things going to be happening, you know. So, and like I was telling John earlier, Coy, did I tell you? Did you hear about the Prime Minister of Canada making his announcement that no more cars from 2000 and past can be on the roads at a certain time. No more window tint. They have 14 days starting June the 1st, I think.
Hold on. No 2000.
Anything made before 2000, they're getting them off the roads.
Are they banning cars that are like 1999? And
Yeah,
down?
yeah. And anyone with a lift on their truck, anyone that's got a truck jacked up, they're going to make them take it off and put the original back on, make it original. No more lift trucks or none of that stuff.
Crazy. That's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah. He's been down. That's what I said. That's what someone was saying the other day. And I got a clip of it saying, yeah, everybody said Trump was going to be a dictator and all this. Said, look what he's just announced after they voted him in. Now that he's going to stop all this stuff, you know. All right, buddy.
Well, all I can say is enjoy.
Okay, this guy's gone. I don't know.
You voted him in. So.
I got so many fans, man. It's ridiculous.
He's gone. He's sitting on my nerves. Bye.
Okay.
I like the older cars.
Oh, I
You
love
can
them.
actually get in and work on them.
Well, yeah, they're not so much electronic. They're, you know. Never been, Miguel. Never been to Mexico.
I don't know. I don't understand why that he's doing that up there. He's going to piss a lot of people off. I can tell you that right now. But whatever happens in Canada happens in Canada.
Yeah, that's like I said. What did we say earlier? 41 million people there.
Yeah.
So that's like the state of California.
State. I wouldn't want them to be the 51st state.
He's still pushing that.
I don't want them. Because then you're bringing their left-wing radical agenda down into our country.
But the way he's doing, they're going to be wanting it.
He must be one of those. He must be one of those dedicated fans that's got 10 channels.
Is it Caroline Levitt, or the press conference lady, whatever her name is? She was talking about it today about Trump saying, about them being, they would be better off if they were the 51st state.
Yeah, but I don't want them as the 51st state.
I don't know why he keeps pushing that. There's something to that. I don't know what it is, but they won't drop it. They keep pushing it.
I agree. The only enemy Mexico has is Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
the cartels.
The cartels. Going with the cartels.
Well, my opinion with them,
I just don't want Canada. I just don't want Canada as a 51st. That's just
I don't either. Because they are like big time left, and like we'd have to take all their bull crap beliefs too, and I don't know. Then you got a lot of stuff though. Get out of here, man. My Lord. You got to think border stuff. Would it, it wouldn't be a border. They'd have to go through so much stuff with that, and then next to Alaska and all that stuff, and the freaky
it's not that I don't like
Canada.
I don't have anything against Canada, the people of Canada. I just don't like Canada's politics. And I don't like Canada's, wait a minute, let me speak, Bray. I don't like Canada acting like we're a horrible country. And because we do tariffs or whatever, and we're just bad people. If it wasn't for us, Canada wouldn't exist.
No.
If it wasn't for us, Canada would not be defended.
Stop taking our money.
Canada would be nothing.
You're so great. Stop taking our money.
Canada would be nothing without the United States. We are their military. We protect them. We give them everything. Don't even give me that crap. Without the United States, Canada would be done. They would be nothing.
I'd say we cut them off.
That's ridiculous. It's just
Don't give them
silly
any
to say
more
that.
money. See how long they last.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Cut them off and see exactly how much they'd be down here begging.
Well, then they let the Chinese in, wasn't it? And some of the Russians and
Oh, they got Iranians,
military up there
Muslims
to come in to try
They got-
stuff with us.
Yeah. They've got a lot of foreigners that's come in and they're like extreme, like
But
big
I don't
time.
have nothing personally against Canada. I'm just tired of them acting like, we're the problem when we do a lot for Canada. I mean, and Canada does some stuff for us too. We're good trade partners and we need to keep that. But Canada needs to recognize without the United States, the world needs to recognize without the United States, there's a lot of countries in trouble. We just signed a big deal with the UK because they understand they have to have the United States. It is what it is. I'm not sitting here trying to say we're the end all be all, but we are the big part of everybody's economy. Without
Hey,
us, they don't
Drugzilla.
survive.
Welcome
I totally
to the
agree,
channel.
John. I totally
Get out of
agree.
our pockets then. That's all I got to say is
Exactly.
cut the money off and see what happens to these countries.
How much
Hey,
syrup?
what's up, Frog? What's up, Frog? Good to see
How
you.
much syrup do we need from them? I mean, yeah, they make more molasses or whatever syrup.
All I need is
Yes,
my
we get
faith,
it.
baby.
Yes, they
My
got
faith.
lumber. We got lumber too, but it's, and they do act like that though. Like we depend on them, and like really, like
Frogzilla. Hope he's
I
blowing
mean-
kisses at you.
so.
I need that maple syrup.
Gotta have the maple syrup.
You can get
Yeah.
maple syrup that's made in the country.
Yeah, this maple syrup.
Yeah, we
too.
have a maple festival, but
Repeal the Federal Reserve Act. Yeah. Federal Reserve. Ugh.
real maple syrup is awesome.
I don't see Canada trying to be that. I think they're going to do whatever other country did. They're going to break to his will, and not because he's
don't call
like.
it his will.
I'm
That
not
makes it
saying
sound
like
he's a
break.
god or
He's
something.
going to break. I'm not saying he's going to break them. I'm saying like with trade stuff, like he's such a good negotiator and all that.
What he wants is he just wants fair deals.
Yeah.
That's all.
He wants to
Just
be
be
fair.
fair. Just be fair. He's not trying
Because
to
he's
break
a
anybody.
businessman, not a politician.
Exactly.
Exactly, Lolly. That's perfectly
Well,
said.
I mean,
He's a
they'll
businessman.
Just be
they'll come
fair.
to some kind of terms. That's why they both
Yeah.
sides has got teams of people that do this stuff.
He's getting them to rolling in now. They're all starting to realize they just got to be fair. That's all he wants. That's
Yep.
all we want. We don't want anything more than that. We don't want anything less than that. We just
Well,
want it to
if
be
you see
equal
the
and fair
UK
trade.
If you see the UK's on board, then why ain't Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will be. They will be. They'll have to be. And so will China. Because China, man, they're in trouble over there. I mean,
They're in
people
big
losing their
trouble.
jobs.
We're not telling you
banks are
how
closing.
bad they're having it right now.
Oh, it's bad in China, man. Bad. And I
Oh,
don't want
yeah.
to see it. I don't want to see, and that doesn't make me feel good. That doesn't make me happy that China's having bad times. But they can't keep taking advantage of the American people and American United States. They have to be fair. And if they can't be fair, then it's unfortunate for their people. If their communist regime can't be fair, then it's unfortunate for their people that they got to suffer. But you know what? That communist regime don't give two shits about their people.
Nope.
They don't care about them. That's why
And
they're
their
letting them
people
suffer
should
through
stand
this.
up and do something though, but they won't.
No, they won't because they're
They
scared
get tired
to
of
death.
being bankrupt. I
Their
mean, they're
mind's screwed.
Yeah. Yep. They're basically bankrupt. China's like falling every day. Not only that, anyone that disagrees with them, they send them off to those camps in different places so they can't get ahead of the government. You know what I mean? They can't.
People don't realize that we have the power. Because if you would sit down and do nothing, the government would collapse.
Yeah.
You don't like what the government's doing, and you just said no.
The people have the power.
I'm sitting down and I'm not doing anything anymore. Then the government would collapse because there would be no money coming into the government.
They wouldn't. Yep. They wouldn't have no
Yeah,
money.
People
They
have
would have
power
no.
and don't even realize it. And you don't
But
have
we've
to
got
go
too
up
many
there.
sheep that won't do it. There's too many people that won't stand up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They don't realize that they have the power. The people don't realize that. We're fooled and we're brainwashed that we have the power. If we would just say peacefully, I'm sitting down, I'm not doing that anymore, I'm not working for you no more, I'm not paying your taxes no more, they would cease to exist.
You know what the
That's
number
true.
one
Get
problem
enough
is, though?
people to do it, but there's not.
Yeah, but
there never will be.
yeah, exactly, Ollie. Exactly. And
Do
that's
you
what
want to
I've
know what
said
the
a million
number one
times.
reason why we don't do that, or the reason why the majority can't do that?
Because
Is
they're
because
spoon-fed city
not just
folks
that.
don't know how to
No,
live.
listen, we've got so many foreigners that's here. They work and own businesses and all that. They're living the American freedom dream, and they're not going to just stop. You know what I mean? Now,
Because
the
it was
American,
given to them when they come in.
that's what I'm saying. Why would they stop working and doing this stuff for us? They're living a better life now. It'd have to be the American born people to stand up and say, we've had enough. And could we really get that many people together? No, they're too comfortable. You know what I mean? People's
why
got
do we
comfort.
Foreigners money to start business and we can't give our own
Exactly.
people money to start a business.
Because
I
that's
can't
just
even
how
get a
screwed
loan.
up and turned over our government is.
Here's
Yeah.
7 years of free taxes and start your little gas stations and all this stuff and go buy this and that.
Here's your
Why?
interest-free loan.
Here's your restaurant, keys to the kingdom.
Here's
Yeah.
your grant.
Where
There's-
American, a real American born and raised here goes to try to get a loan and they tell you to go screw yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It tries to start something. They don't want to help you.
Yep.
That's
They don't.
terrible, man.
Yeah.
Man,
So-
it's just
Yeah, and veterans
crazy
not
talk.
having a home is ridiculous.
That is very ridiculous. Very ridiculous.
That's the worst thing in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Somebody
I've
that's
said this a million times, and I'll say
Sir.
it again. If you served in the military, especially during wartime, you should never have to want for anything. You should
Nope.
never have to ask for anything. You should never have to worry about your health care. You should never have to worry about your family. I mean, what a sacrifice. You go over and fight, and you lose a leg, you lose an arm, you go over and get what do they call it? I'm sorry.
PTSD.
Yeah, and you go through, and we just throw them out on the street. Man, that's the most sickest thing to me in the world. And I didn't serve, but I mean, I appreciate everybody has served and fought for our freedom. And we treat them like shit, and we don't do anything for them. These men and women should never have to want for anything. When you serve your country and you go fight in battles and lose limbs and lose your mind, basically, you should never have to want for anything. You should have a home, always have a roof over your head. You should have everything to be provided for you. And it sickens me that we have illegal immigrants living in these great places, all this money, when our veterans are sitting on the street somewhere with, I can't say it, PTSD, whatever, and mental
PTSD.
illness, and they're not doing a damn thing for them. And I have a problem with Trump, too, because Trump's doing the same damn thing. He doesn't mention them, doesn't talk about them, and he's not doing a damn thing for them. And it makes me sick.
They
Somebody
should
should be
have.
standing up for these people.
They should have the keys to the kingdom.
Sorry, my bad.
No, they should.
That's
They
all
should
right.
have the keys to the kingdom. They should want for nothing. Even the ones that don't lose anything, the ones that still served, especially ones in a wartime, like you said, they seen shit that we will never see. They've had to do things that we've never will ever have to do. They stood on a wall and said, "Nothing's going to hurt you tonight, not on my watch." You know what I mean? They protected this country.
Right.
They
And you can
still
see
do.
it. Go watch the Hurt Locker. Go watch these movies that show that
Yeah.
what these guys went through. I mean, this is some bad shit, man.
Yeah.
And we don't care nothing about it. We just throw them out on the street and don't care nothing about
Yep.
it.
Go look at
Sad.
Black Hawk Down when we were in Somalia. I mean, look how bad that was, what they went through and tortured and killed our,
I had a son that served for
that's
8
real
years.
life stuff.
I had a son that served for 8 years, and he was in Afghanistan. I mean, he didn't fight. Unfortunately, he didn't have to fight, but there was bombs going off around his camp all the time. I mean, those guys go over there and just even if you don't go out into battle, you're still hearing it. You're there in it.
Yep.
You're there in that mix. You're there in the desert. You're there. It has an effect on you,
Yeah.
and you went over there for your country, and they don't care about you. They don't care, and it's sad.
What did that one guy say? He could operate millions of dollars of equipment and machines, but once he got here, he couldn't work at a grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't even get a job at a grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, man. Don't get me started on that. But Anyway, you're gone. My name is Sleater. I'm a mega patriot.
Well, nice to see you, Patriot.
Nice to see you, patriot. Trump loves the veterans, Sean. He's done a lot like give them access to any doctor if they don't get care. Yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough, man. We got to take care of our veterans. And not only that, with healthcare, we got to take care of them with housing and stuff like that. You got these people who lost limbs.
They do get veteran loans now. They do get better loans than the average person.
Yeah, that's true. But we could do so much more, though. There's a lot of homeless out there with mental illness that nobody cares about.
Yeah, well, they need to have places for them and really, try to do.
But then you look at it, and then you got the humanitarian people come out and say, well, they don't need to be locked up. They don't need to be in cell or rooms, and they don't need to be where they can't be openly, freely, and run the streets. Maybe some of them don't. You know what I mean?
Patriot, I agree with you. God bless our president, but he's not our supreme leader. He's just the president. He's not supreme. He's not anybody any different. He's just a man. I don't know how you meant that, but he's not our supreme leader. He's just the president.
He's not mine. I'm a fan, but he's not my.
Yeah.
I'm a MAGA guy, but I don't worship anybody but God.
I don't worship I worship no man.
Yeah. But no, seriously, like it's just wild how this country, and it's bad to say this because I'm American, that this country has put things before the American people. You know what I mean? And especially veterans. I don't understand how they, like the Democrats. Like, what was I telling you today? They bum rushed a damn ICE facility there in Newark, Jersey, and they took the mayor away in handcuffs because he led the damn raid on it, trying to free the damn immigrants there. The Democrats did.
Jesus.
So, I mean, look at what's going on. They care more about an illegal gang member than they do their own American people. That's sickening.
I don't understand.
So how do we expect anybody to help anybody or vets or anybody when we have people like that fighting for other people that ain't even belongs to this country? I don't get, it's never going to get fixed. It's going to be a 4-year battle every year against one another. And they live the supreme elite life, and we get we're the peasants. We're the second tier.
Planning a huge 4th of July military parade in our nation's capital.
Yeah, but we're not going to be there. We don't get to go and get to do that. We don't have the money to go do that.
That's not what I'm talking about, Thomas. I'm talking about they're not helping the ones that are mentally ill, the ones that are living on the street. They're not giving them a home. They're not doing enough for our veterans. Not nearly enough. I don't care. They're just not. They're just not.
No, even if they had to get the doctors and nurses out in the streets and help them get out there and walk the streets and give them medicines and help them,
The ones that serve and give up 4 or 5, 8 years of their life, they don't get paid shit. They don't get taken care of. They don't. I know this. I've had people in my family that's been in the military. They don't get taken care of.
Yeah. 2 of my nephews they left because of the COVID shot. One was Marines and one was Army.
Well, they're supposed to be back reinstated with full.
But I don't think they're going to though. My nephews.
There were Congress ladies hitting the ICE officers. They should be in jail. Arrest them. Throw them in jail.
That's what I said. Every one of them need to be in there.
That's just crazy, man.
That's why I said it's ridiculous that they will stand up for somebody they don't even a murderer, a rapist. Excuse me. Sorry.
That's true, Thomas. Watch that word. Don't.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it. But it's bad that they'll do that. Their actions, it shows you exactly who they're for. And if they don't tell all these people that vote for them, you know what I mean? But as long as they convince their little people out here on the streets to go out here and protest and scream up and down, that's why they do their dirty deeds behind their back, They'll always have, something going on like that. They'll always have people to stand up and fight for them because they've convinced them that, Trump's the devil and we're all bad, and the only way is their way. And what these people out here protesting and doing all this stuff, they don't realize that they don't care about them. they're not going to let them move into their nice gated communities and neighborhoods with them and all that stuff. You know what I mean? They fool them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a mess, and it's going to take longer than 4 years to try to fix all this stuff, even if it ever gets fixed. But all I see is just a few things get fixed here and there, and some things being okay during just his next 3.5 years, whatever he's got left, and it's going to just be right back down the other side again. It's never going to change unless, like Coy was saying, unless the American people stood up and realized the power they have, and it's the powers in the people. Until they do that, it's just going to be the same old nonsense all the time. But like Lolly says, you're never going to find that many people to do it. So
Nope.
that's the problem. So we just live in this constant loop of craziness.
Everybody's become comfortable with just content.
So
You know,
what I say is live your life the purest and cleanest that you can. Enjoy your life, enjoy your family, do the best that you can because you have limited control. Because you by yourself can't change anything. You by yourself can't change the government. It takes a multitude of people to do so. And until that happens, which it's never going to happen, you're just going to have to live the best life you can and be as positive as you can.
Well, it did happen. We can't say it didn't happen because
Well,
the majority of the people voted for a change.
right, that's true.
So it did
But I
happen.
mean, for it to change permanently, or for it to make a big impact other than just 4 years and executive orders, I mean, you have to stand up and change the whole system, and that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen, in my
not enough
opinion.
people behind it.
Yeah. So
Nope.
we're stuck in an endless cycle of craziness. So
Yeah. Well, the only
Unfortunately.
message I have to anybody coming here is, learn it, live it, love it, or leave it.
yeah.
So
Or leave
With
the
that
country.
being, yeah, I mean, with that being said, we've been on here going on 3 hours, so we're gonna get off here. Always remember Raysmotolife channel and right.
shout out to my super fans, all you guys, love yous.
So remember his channel, mythical rider, mythical themes, her channel. Make sure you go check her out. And Coy
Thank
from Lost in the Woods with Coy from Coy. We appreciate Lolly coming on. Lost in the Woods with Coy. Check out his channel when he starts putting up content. I always say that because I'm trying to push him to put up content. Anyway, and always thanks for being on the Rabbit Hole and Retired Rider. Go check out Retired Rider Harley Road Glide, my other channel. And always the Rabbit Hole. We'll be back on the Rabbit Hole. What is this? Is this Friday? I've lost what day it is. It's Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll be back on the Rabbit Hole Sunday night with superhumans. Do they exist? I don't know. We'll see. So check us out then, 7:30 Sunday night. With that being said, appreciate everybody that came in and had a chat with us. All we ask, like I said, is to show respect. We don't have any problem with people having a different opinion of ours. We just ask that you show respect. So that being said, everybody have a great night, and we will see you next time. Take care now.
Night, everybody.
Later, alligator.